So upon returning to Beacon, it was found that the some guards from Alisnarian had come through and were looking for their deceased other guard members, a captain of the guard who had been down within the chainless lab. You guys kind of headed them off, tried to convince them that you were chainless, and whether or not that was entirely successful remains to be seen, although they did kind of call after you, they're the chainless. And then there was a really grueling quote-unquote chase scene in the staircase leading up and out of the lab. You guys decided to gallivant across the countryside, trying to just get away from Beacon so as not to have your presence be tying any negative connotations to Beacon for the guards of Alisnarian. You decided to camp around the outskirts of the South Holt, the woods to the southeast of Beacon. I know that the token is there, but I feel like it's one more north. I feel like you guys are... I don't know why that's there. I feel like it's here.
We're there, yeah.
Pretty sure it's there. You decided to finally open the chest that was found within the Rising Requiem behind the fireplace in the study there, Vudos's study, and found some interesting things on the inside. There was nothing of note that occurred over your time traveling across about a day's journey to get to the outskirts of the South Holt. But you did bed down for the evening and got in a good night's rest. So, we do pick back up the very next morning. Jason, you're about to fall asleep.
No, I'm good. I opened up, I was looking through my notes and I opened up the Matisse Weiss bio that I wrote up in notes. So I was just reading about him for a second.
But who?
The guy that I used in when I don't even know what we played.
Oh, Matisse, yeah.
Matisse, yeah.
Matisse, that was Zotera with Davion.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Yeah. No, that was different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Zotera's different lad. Aris.
Oh, yeah.
Zotera.
Maybe that was
a
random RP character.
Yeah, that was a random RP thing, yeah. Because I realized I got 12,302 gold off that one mission. So...
Makes sense. Okay.
All right, yeah, no, I'm in.
So as we pick back up the next morning, you guys are kind of breaking camp and getting ready to go. Is there anything that anyone is doing or saying, or are you just silently packing everything up and moving on?
Does anybody else miss Duke's justice ramblings? Or is that just me?
What would he be saying right now?
Glad he got out before all this nonsense. Probably wouldn't have sat right with him.
Yeah, this is probably a very gray area for him. What we've just done.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just thinking about it. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
To clarify, the climate in and around Beacon is pretty temperate, like similar to New England-ish.
Yeah. So
it's going to get warmer as we go south?
Correct.
Okay.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah. Usually.
Sometimes when you go north, yeah.
You know that everything is literally, in my games, is based around the United States and what's above and below it, right? Obviously.
It's just easier that way.
You know, I wonder what tectonic activity occurred on this landscape.
A lot.
Well, I mean, we can guess that there's a tectonic plate, like each side of the epoch chain, because with their movement, they came up.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's totally,
up.
it's an erogenous, no.
But there's a caldera now.
Okay, but don't. But don't forget that after the the apocalypses that took place, everything was just thrown into utter chaos. Like the world doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, but
from-
like it's more fun to look at it the scientific way. Like the caldera was totally made because there's a tectonic plate from like Ryver to Talonaro that's super small that collided with the other one, and that's what made the mountains. But then there was a rifting event that slightly pulled it apart. So there's your little caldera there.
It's a pretty big caldera.
And the scoria, obviously the scoria is from a hot spot as tectonic plates moved.
Yeah.
Obviously.
That is exactly the reason.
So
You figured it out.
Knowing that, I look to the rest of the group. So as we will be heading south now, I don't, other than Howhead over here, I think the rest of y'all have said Beacon was about as far south as you've been. It's gonna get warmer the farther we go. So I hope you brought some lighter attire, full robes that you might be used to up north. Probably gonna be too much for you.
Well, I mean, I'm dressed in layers, so.
I actually don't have anything made for a warmer area. I've never.
Just remove your big furry jacket.
Yeah, I mean it's wrapped around my waist right now. What else do I do? I'm not gonna go shirtless.
Rel just looks down at her like
you wouldn't be the
fur-
only one.
Like her fur trimmed armor that's specifically made for cold weather, and it's like, ah, crap.
Oh my
We're
god, poor Gade!
We get to get clothing.
We're gonna have to shave Gade.
Well, okay, so
Yeah,
Brazil-
shave him. Shave him and get rid of any kind of winter coat he might have.
Rizir would know.
There's a few stores in Ryver that we could probably stop by, and if we spend any amount of time there, we could get everybody outfitted with some more adequate clothing. Especially if we do intend on going down to the Caldera at any point, we'll have to get some different stuff for, especially y'all. But there's a few stores in town that we could check out, and I think I have in mind one that probably has what we need. If not, we can shop around a bit. Just as a heads up to y'all. Enjoy the cool while it lasts. It's warmer as we go.
I was just gonna say that, Ryver is still close enough to Beacon where it's not like hot at Ryver. It's not like you're you're moving out of a
that doesn't mean it's built. For
I'm talking
fur.
to I'm talking to two Canadians and a fur-covered beast lady. Like, I'm warning them that we're going down to the Carolinas. It's going to get warmer.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can kind of wear the same clothing in New York, but like you get down to Maryland and it's like, all right.
Yeah, it gets a lot warmer.
Okay. Are you sticking closer to like within the forest line? I think you'd said you were going to do one more forest days worth of travel before exiting.
Yeah, stick to the edge. Keep an eye out for people out in the main open area for.
No, that's the worst.
Travel.
Oh, dude, I love
Felix.
those bears though. They're so
They're
so funny.
Sun bear. Right, that's a sun bear.
I don't know.
I think that's what that is.
Who's doing that? Donnie, that's so impractical. Why
How's
wouldn't
this
you
No,
just
that's not it.
why wouldn't you go to the one to the southwest? Like
And we
Out of the
skipped
forest.
a few
I'm
days of
really
travel.
trying to stay away from the road. I'm assuming there's kind of like a road there or something. Because
It's-
we are trying to
At this point, what might as well
Avert-
just go.
avert other people in the same direction. So I mean, we could go across the other bridge, and then trek even longer around the other way.
That's
I
up to
feel like-
you.
I feel like this is like the most efficient way to covertly get down the Ryver. Or we can paddle across the way.
All right, let's take it one day at a time. You guys can have your conversations. So for the first day of travel,
Is there a convenient little fishing village or some outpost here that we could charter a boat to just cross the pond instead? Lake.
That's a pond.
You know of temporary dwellings of people that are all within this area that you've kind of seen meandering here and there, but there's no villages. There's nobody with like...
Yeah, more of a little fishing shack that people frequent and often have their boats at, where they do long trips across the lake and then sleep there for the night before doing another route back to Ryver.
Nothing where there would be something you could pay for, or even a boat that you would know that would be left there that you could steal. There's, which I know it's what you're thinking.
Us stealing it? Never.
Nothing of a permanent nature. There's a couple shacks here and
But
there.
I mean, we shouldn't really need to look for actual like places to sleep because I'm pretty sure Zender has Zeman's tiny hut.
I think.
Yeah, it's more. I think the general idea was we wanted to stay away from the main thoroughfare so that if the guards from Ilis Narian were in hot pursuit, they wouldn't run into us. Just to avoid any hassle that we'd have to deal with.
So I would say,
for the most part, we're gonna go down at least one more, and then over and down kind of thing. Because once we get closer to the bridge, there's going to be a bit more traffic, so it would be less weird for us to be there.
So I'll say this. There are a couple of spots that you know of that people moor their boats for whatever reason, but it's not with any regularity. So you could go and check those spots, but it could take additional time to do that, and there may be nothing. And then you may have to track backwards if you wanted to go that route.
I think we're good. Just sticking to the woods one more time and then cutting back in.
All right. So let's go ahead and roll for this first day of travel.
2d10, right?
2d10.
Donnie was ready.
A dragon appears.
Okay.
Ancient white dragon.
Oh.
So, so traveling through the remainder of the forest, a full day of travel over fallen logs, passing what seems to be the same tree over and over and over again. And it's not an illusion. It's just the forest. It's completely devoid of any visible life. And even as Louise is a pretty practiced hunter, there's the occasional hoof print here or there of various creatures, but no real sounds. Birds like way off in the distance, but everything's kind of keeping their distance from you. Clouds do roll in over the course of the day, kind of denoting that the nighttime you'll probably have some rolling thunder and probably a wet night for your rest. Louise, the one thing that just kind of pricks the hairs on the back of your neck as you're traveling through the forest with your ridiculous passive perception is that it feels like something's watching you. You just can't shake this feeling.
Fun fact, if it's by magical mean, it's not able to watch me because of the scepter.
Okay. It is not by magical means.
All right.
Well, actually, you don't know. All you know is that you have the feeling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm feeling something watching me, I know it's not going to be magical because of the scepter.
It
should grant it.
Divination.
Or it could be something playing tricks on you. It could be your own mind starting to go crazy. You don't know. Yeah. So kind of like keeping an eye out every so often. You're just like, I feel like there's something. Just kind of look behind you and there's nothing there.
Just my horse staring at him.
I just reread through. I thought they weren't able to detect me through magical means, but no, they're unable to know if I'm lying or not through magical means. Or, yeah, that's it. So unable to read my thoughts and to know if I'm lying.
Check for crows.
This reminds me of a thing. One of my players in my new campaign, he's a crazy old man, and he's like, I just want to roll random perception checks and act like a random duck named Dave is following me and watching me around like all the time.
Wait,
And
is the duck just like the smell that if it touches you, it kills you?
it's not real. We've
Real.
we've both determined that it's not real, but he's like, I want everybody to think that there's a random duck named Dave who is on my trail at all times. So he's just gonna roll random perception checks, and I'm gonna be like, "You feel watched." And he's gonna be like, "Dave," like that's what this is reminding me of. It's just you feel watched. You're something's watching you, Dave.
The horrible goose.
Well, in this case, Louise doesn't have any preconceived notions of a duck named Dave that's following and or watching.
He's
So
got no
It's not a duck.
foul. He doesn't have a foul nemesis.
wow,
Foul.
ridiculous.
Right.
Foul nemesis. Yeah. Do you mention it to the group, or you just kind of shrug it
I
off?
mean,
And
I'll keep it to myself for now, and if I still feel it like as we're settling down for the night or the next day, I'll say something. Yeah.
alrighty. So the day comes and goes. It's uneventful, as cloudy days are, and there's just the crackling sound of thunder kind of off in the distance, and you can see even as the moon comes out and the stars come overhead, kind of peeking through the trees down towards your campsite, wherever it is that you decide to make camp for the evening. Just a little.
I know you had mentioned it, Jason, but has Xander mentioned that he wants in any of our downtime, particularly like maybe during our travel times, that anybody who knows languages that he doesn't, that he wants them to like start?
He hasn't mentioned it yet.
Okay.
In character. It's something that I'm intending on bringing up soon. But I was kind of bouncing back and forth because I was like, would he even say anything if like they hadn't spoken a different language in front of him? You know, like I don't know.
It's pretty common for people to know multiple languages. So I think
Yeah,
the character
so-
would just assume that people know more than one thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, like we can do that. Like RP that.
Well,
like I'm
That's up to you.
no, I'm fine with that.
just
I'm
a
at a
thought.
point now where I'm watching the clock, so I'm making sure my rice isn't gonna get
Oh,
burned.
yeah.
I have 5 minutes left on my timer. I might just run
Same.
upstairs when we're I might just run upstairs when we go to rest just to check it and be like, okay, I'm good, and then like get everything else ready.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah, if he didn't bring it up, then
Yeah, didn't bring it
no
up yet.
worries.
I'll do it during one of these nights of rest.
So as you guys bed down, there's the as you're starting.
I'll also like because it's getting muddy and rainy. I'll cast Leoman's Hut as ritual, and just get that
Okay.
up.
You can make that
and-
look like anything you want on the outside.
Yeah,
right?
no.
Solid color.
I was just about to say it's like a little snow globe. Like if you look at it from the outside, it's a little snow globe, but on the inside, it's like a comfortable little lodge, like this little log cabin, that like he would totally if he had the ideal life, he could just run away and just live in a little log cabin and exist and read books and just chill out for the rest of his life.
But I mean, how long would it survive without food?
Not long, no. But that does not matter in the ideal life now, does it?
When you say snow globe, you mean it's just white on the outside? Because isn't it a solid
No.
color?
Is it a solid color?
It
I
should
mean,
say
I
on
don't-
the spell.
It's the one time I actually don't have any of your character sheets pulled up right now for some reason.
The dome is opaque from the outside of any color you choose, but it's transparent from the inside. Yeah, so it's like could I do a gradient? Could I do like white on the top to a blue bottom? Does it matter?
Probably not. You know, it says a color, but I'm not going to fight about it. I'm not worried about it, honestly. I don't think it's going to make
I
any
mean,
difference.
I might change it depending on the environment we're in.
I would say that you get to choose when you cast it, and then
Right,
you
so,
can't like
yeah.
change it mid.
So I'll cast it. I'll cast it as green since we're in the forest.
Okay.
Maybe the less watchful eye would miss it. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
And there's the
Okay.
at the end of the spell, there's a small part that says the atmosphere inside the space is comfortable and dry, regardless of the weather outside. So does that mean that it dries the grass we're like resting on right now?
Yes. Absolutely.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Fantastic. Who needs tarps?
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we'll
Magical
need to make
camp.
like a fire to dry it a little bit, but yeah.
I would say that it like once you cast it, it might take like maybe 5 minutes and just like becomes like super steamy on the inside as all the water that was on the ground kind of evaporates, and then it just kind of dissipates throughout the top of it, and then it becomes comfortable. Yeah, it's a nice grassy, leafy, viney base to this. It says it's a 10-foot radius. Does that mean that it's 20 feet across?
Yeah.
That's pretty big. It's a pretty big.
Well, it's enough for a whole party to camp in, sleep in comfortably.
9 medium or small creatures. Anything larger than that breaks the spell for tries to enter, so Gage needs to sleep outside.
Wait, what?
No.
9 creatures of medium or smaller. The spell fails if its area includes a larger creature or more than 9 creatures.
Yeah, Gate
Really?
has to sleep outside.
And so do the horses.
So do the horses.
That's a really weird rule to add in there instead of just being like, this is the dome's dimensions. It's like, if there's 10 people inside, it explodes. Like, get out of here. If it can fit, it should fit.
So it's 20 feet wide and 20 feet tall. Because
That's
that's
enough for a
I
lot
know
of-
it's 10. Well, if we're resting on the ground,
Oh,
only
oh.
half a sphere
10
would
feet.
be.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
10
gotcha.
feet high.
Right. Okay.
really, really big. tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really big tent. So you're not going to fit a horse in there with other people comfortably, and
You could,
according to
fit
the
a-
magic.
you could fit a horse in there.
I feel like, because I know Caleb used this a lot in campaign 2. I feel like the description of what it could fit on the inside of it and how they used it did not all correlate with how this is written at all.
Yeah, no. This,
They-
bet
they
this is
made
one
it-
of those-
They
Spells.
always made it seem like it was way smaller than this description. Like
Well, I mean, they
just
have
enough,
6 people.
right? But they made it
So
seem
the
like they
way-
had to literally all like huddled up next to each other, or else they'd have like arms and legs sticking out of the sides, and that's clearly not the case
But
at
let's
all.
be real. The Mighty Nine just wanted to cuddle together.
That's true.
Yeah.
They just
yeah,
had
yeah.
plenty of space, but they just decided not to use
Yeah.
it.
There's totally not enough space in here, guys. We got to sleep close to each other.
Wow.
I will also be right back at this point.
Okay.
Right.
One day of travel. Yeah. So far.
All right, we
And
did
then
it.
which
Let's
way
pick
are we
back
going?
up.
That way or that way?
I vote for the right side.
Razier's gonna say he wants to go to the left side. Uh-huh. He is. It's the most direct route.
Yeah, but we're not in a hurry. We can be safe.
Doesn't that feel good though, to not be in a hurry? To not have any pressing like world ending matters that you have to race to go and do, or some timeline that you're forced. Just
You know,
think about how you
I-
feel about that right now, and just cherish it for this session.
And next session, it's
uh,
gonna be gone.
Have you noticed in a lot of TV shows lately, like the way they do their in whatever show, like the stakes are always at maximum. It's always universe level stakes. I'm like, dude, I can't care about the whole universe's stakes anymore. I just
And it's
honestly,
always
you could make the stakes. It's just like 3 people might die. It's like, okay, that's reasonable. There's some stakes. It's pretty normal. It's like, the whole universe will explode. I'm like, then let it explode. It's like, oh my god, I don't care.
And it's always like when there's a new threat, it's always bigger and more dangerous. There's
Yeah,
never
it's like
like
stop. It's like stop with
Yeah.
the whole. It's like the DBZ scaling of threat level, and it's like, dude, at a certain point, it's like, how much higher can you go?
yeah.
Yep.
Start small, stay small. Maybe go to a medium for a very important arc, and go back to small.
Well, how high would you say the stakes are of the little missions you've done so far since the campaign
now?
started?
Not that high.
Right. Seems
It's
pretty.
like, you got these like gang of turds doing crazy science. Like, that's normal. That's a Tuesday. You got corruption in a capital city. That's a Wednesday. Whatever.
Now, I mean, when you released Vudos and that whole Rising Requiem,
Well, that
Man.
could
Tuesday.
that might turn into a Thursday.
that's weekend stuff.
That's a weekend problem.
That's a problem for Weekend Trail.
Yeah. Later, me will worry about that. Yep. And right now, you have like, well, there's the Raiders of Nyx Ruinum going back to Nyx Ruinum to potentially mess with the brothers' situation. Who knows what's going on there? That's not being dealt with or addressed as of right now.
That's their thing. We'll figure it out.
I mean, just let's take a look at the map right now.
That's so
Yeah.
far.
Nyx Ruinum is all the way over here.
I
Yep.
have outdone myself, lads.
So
Do you have
This
the best rice ever known to man?
260
This
miles
is
away.
pretty
That's
good.
by bird's flight. Not even like going around.
320 miles by foot.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Oh.
if you went on foot, because you have to go around the frozen reef stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
That's far. It'll take them like a month. We'll have teleporting doors by then. Whatever.
Is that a month? Because each one of
I
these
don't know.
hexes
It's
is
a day, right?
a day.
20 mile. Yeah. And it's 20 mile per hex. So it's like 15 days.
It's 16.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a fortnight.
a fortnight.
Fortnite?
Yeah,
It's a little over 2 weeks to get there,
it's forever.
which is really not that bad, honestly.
It's kind of weird. I was expecting like, 2 months.
No,
From where to where?
from where you are right
Where
now
we
to
are
Nyx
to
Ruinum,
Nyx Ruinum.
Oh,
16 days.
That's
Yeah, but
with
with all the stuff-
uninterrupted travel.
with all the stuff. Yeah, I was gonna say with all the stuff that we would hit on the way though, like that.
Yeah. And-
That's a like month-long trip.
I just
Yeah.
realized something. If we were to, like, later down the line, have a magnificent mansion, we can have doors in there. Can we make magical teleportation doors there until we're anywhere?
Well, that's so the inside of the Magnificent Mansion is a different dimension, technically.
Then it wouldn't work.
So you can
Alright.
make magical doors to the
Well,
other
also,
side of the Magnificent Mansion.
Don't the fragments need to start on a mundane door? Isn't that a thing?
No.
We don't have any. Who cares?
Oh,
Any
well, then
any
that
any
doesn't-
door that has a key.
Wait,
Can-
we could just lock somebody in their room.
Wow.
The only way out is
That's actually, well, you don't know what all the various aspects and perks that a door can have. So Xanladir gave you like the very, very basics, which is, it's funny because you have this really powerful thing that would let you travel, maybe, and you're not able to use it because you're not like, you don't have like a home base or anywhere that you've settled yet.
Whenever you say perks, I always think of like Black Ops Zombies when I'm getting like all my colas.
Okay. you settle in for the evening. This technically the second night's rest after having left Beacon. Is anybody taking watches, or are you just kind of trying to find a hidden spot?
Am I still feeling watched?
Yeah, the feeling has never left you.
All right, yeah. Then I'll say, hey guys, since like a while back, since maybe we left, I've been feeling like somebody's been watching us. Like I don't know what it is though.
Even from in here?
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, even.
I'm more asking him, yeah. Like,
All right, yeah.
didn't really need DM input on that.
I was letting him know the answer to your
Yeah,
question.
that's what I figured.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
We didn't watch, huh? Like, you think by, like, magic or something?
I can
Or, like-
say.
Alright. Keep an eye out then.
Can I?
Or
Can I-
maybe you're just starting to go paranoid, being this far from home.
That might be it. Yeah.
Am I able to cast Find Familiar outside? Of,
You need to stay in the hut, since you're the one who casted it.
Right. So Find Familiar needs to stay in the hut.
No, I mean, pretty sure the familiar could leave.
Your familiar could go out.
Yeah. Because, well, anything that you cast from within the dome, like, you can't, like, shoot out of it with, like, a spell.
Right. Yeah.
Even if you can target something outside of the dome, it doesn't go through it.
Yeah.
So that's kind
It's
of a gray
basically
area.
total cover.
I'd allow you to do that, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'll make Java appear, and I'll just look over at Louise. Should he go take a look?
I mean, he could. I
Doesn't
guess,
hurt?
yeah. Well, I mean, he is
Is
a
it-
white fox in
Well,
the
right,
middle
but
of
is
the
this
green forest.
like an ethereal feeling, or like, do you think that there's actually something out there watching us?
You know what?
I have no clue.
Hang on, guys. This used to be my job. Let me just go take a look. I'll go out, get on Gate, and do like 100 feet perimeter search.
Okay.
Need to roll maybe a perception for that or investigation.
Sure.
I'll send Java out to watch Thrall do that just in case like anything goes wrong.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make perception or investigation your choice. And you can have Jabba make a perception check to keep an eye out and watch out for Gade and Thrall as they go along, if you want.
All right, so
Block, stat block, 5.
both me and Gade have advantage for hearing and smelling, so I'm gonna roll them as advantage, and the higher number will be hearing and smelling, and the first number will be eyesight.
Okay.
Wow, I rolled
Okay.
terribly.
Okay.
So if he doesn't have advantage, it's the 11. If he does, it's a 13.
Gotcha.
That's all.
Oh, dirty 20 for Java.
Well, luckily Gade's more perceptive than me. He's not. What the heck? I just rolled bad.
Right. Okay.
Plus
And then-
4, plus 6.
And then
Dark.
that for Java, it's just a 19.
Dirty 20. He's got a +1.
Dirty 20, gotcha. Okay. So you guys go out and you feel very confident as you make your rounds through. Gate does catch a whiff of a small rodent, and then just like you just are made to be distracted by Gade just like not listening to you and just going off and like slamming into a tree trunk and like bowling it over. It pulls out the roots and over onto its side, and there's like a little family of voles that's just huddled there and shivering together in the cold as the rain's coming down, and they're gone in an instant by him eating them.
Oh.
He's
Xander's in the in the hut. And he's like, oh no,
Oh, and Gade is going to town. Like, picks up a whole mouthful of them and just like this, and it's just Java does well you through Java's eyes. You do pick up just a sound of like a squeak that's kind of maybe 15, 20 feet away from where Gade is eviscerating a family of voles underneath the tree stump. But you can probably assume that it's just another one of the small creatures either trying to get away or something crying in dismay at seeing this large creature bearing down and finding what very little there is to find in this forest. So that is Neeks.
While we still have a Beastmaster, it would be crazy if they just summoned a hawk and had him fly around
when
for
we're
a
traveling
second.
when I'm traveling, it's bird. Oh yeah, and do I have my beast sense? I would still have it.
Because you haven't changed over yet.
Yeah, I haven't. Because you said 2 days.
That was
yeah,
2 or 3, was it?
2, 3, yeah, something like that.
Oh, guys, I outdid myself. This is
All right,
awesome.
I guess I could do that. So yeah, I guess I'll send over out the bird. And how long does beast sense?
You're going to send it out at the same time as the other 3 are out going?
Yeah, I could do that, going above Drake's Sea. That's for an hour, yeah, and I'll use beast sense on it as it's leaving, so I can see through its eyes.
And you guys are like the ultimate recon team right now.
And
And I'm not
wait,
even doing anything, but I could.
Right?
Yeah, no, we've got a lot of recon. The only person who's like, if Razir were to do it, the only person who's sitting in that hut is Black Star, and he's just staring at us while we're all
no,
looking
Black
through
Star
the
is
eyes.
clearly talking to his sword right now.
Like,
Yeah,
like,
he's
we're
busy
all-
talking to his sword, or just like
we're all-
sticking his sword out of the bubble. What do you see, guy? What do you see, bud?
we're all phased out, like looking through our familiars, and
Yeah.
he's like, guys, when can I join this party?
Oh lord.
Brings a whole new meaning to a 1,000-yard stare.
I hate it.
Alright,
Anyways, if
for
you want to,
perception, would I roll with my perception bonus or the beasts?
does it say anything like when you're
Well,
looking
it's on.
through its senses?
over here in the beast, and it doesn't say anything about like perception checks.
Well, I think it would be with its
perception, alright.
because of whether or not the beast you're using has dark vision or whether or not it has, like if you're an eagle, they have better vision than you do, technically.
This bird, no, they don't, because I have a +10. The bird has a +5.
So I would say you'd still use the birds.
Yeah, still use the bird, alright. It's okay.
Isn't that part of the ruling when you look through the eyes of an animal or something, you see through their senses?
Another
Yeah,
13.
okay, so let's say through their senses, but yeah.
So that makes the most amount of sense. That the rain has started to come down more heavily, which is kind of washing away a lot of the mud and blood that Gade left behind in the crater underneath the stump there. So you're kind of like mesmerized by watching the aftermath of that, and Gade like yawns really big after taking this giant meal and just kind of lumbering along. But yeah, looking around, there isn't anything out of the ordinary that you pick out amidst the little bits of rocks and lots of ferns and underbrush within the forest.
Alright. I'll call it back then. I mean, I could still have it watch for an hour, but then I need to concentrate, so I'm guessing that would delay my long rest by an hour, right?
I mean, I would
it is a
assume
If you were
concentration
on
spell.
watch, like if you use it
Yeah,
as
but
a
I'm
watch.
still concentrating on the spell.
Right. I mean, it depends on when you're doing this. I don't know if you're all doing it all at the same time. If that's the case, then I would assume it's before the long rest even started, because that's when you told everybody while you're sitting around having dinner underneath this hut, right? I would say you would don't worry about it. It's not gonna. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Forget about it.
Nobody was really saying whether or not it was before or after the. I'm assuming you guys like stopped around 7 or 8, had some food, had maybe a little bit of conversation, and then everybody decided to bed down for the evening because it's dark. It's even more dark outside earlier because of the clouds rolling in and the rain and everything. So, okay. Who's taking first watch or no watch at all on the hut? Just feel safe.
Razier.
I mean, yeah, I think with the hut and me just being conscious the whole time, I think we're good. We don't really need to do a actual watch rotation.
Okay. All right. So everybody goes to sleep. Was there any conversation that needed to be had before everybody bedded down?
I'm gonna do my thing tomorrow night.
Okay. I'm sure Black Star would have things to say. There'd be a lot more conversation to have, but
Yeah, this would be the trip where we get to know him a bit.
Yeah. Well, I know he's not here, but Blackstar did mention that there was some stuff going down in the Ryver. Could we ask him what it is?
yeah. He did actually. I thought he maybe told you, but maybe not. So his information is kind of limited, but he was passing through Ryver on his way to Beacon, and found out that there's kind of some uneasiness with the townsfolk, and it's rumored that one of the leaders of Ryver has gone missing recently, like very recently.
Oh man, he's a monster now. That sucks. The missing leader is totally a weird humanoid now.
Well, they'll be dead by the time we get there.
Yeah.
Or they survive and become a super soldier.
And you said it's
All right.
one of the leaders, so there's more than one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And
What
Mhm.
is the socio-political structure of Ryver?
There's a governing body of 3 individuals. They work as a consensus to govern the town and direct things. It's very much a business and trade oriented town, with both the trade that comes from the docks and the access to the river, as well as the location that Ryver is at, being farther south. Trades with all the northern towns. Very rarely does it deal with Tail Noro. But then there's also a mining operation that goes on in the town because of there's a big old hole. So
Big old
mining
hole.
operation. Yeah. Big old hole.
why didn't
What
we
are they,
get all that information in Razir speak?
Yes.
The actual RP? No.
So
kinda-
so to put it in short terms, Threll, it's a council-based capitalistic society where
Yes.
where the people really only thrive off of trade, and if you're doing anything else, you're probably losing money more than you're making it.
So it's just Venice, right?
I don't
Back
know.
in the day. Because
Back
right
in the
Old school
day.
Venice.
Venice isn't doing so good, but yeah.
Yeah.
What are they mining?
Yeah, old school Venice. Stuff from the ground.
That could
Like
be anything.
black onyx structures.
It's like traditional mining for like standard ores and stuff, and then there's a actual thing that goes on down there with a certain plant.
So, like talking about like iron or coal and copper,
You know, Minecraft stuff.
silicon,
I'm getting one more serving.
diamonds.
That rice is all for me.
Emeralds.
I'm gonna go get my food now too.
Okay.
emeralds,
10
lapis.
Lazuli.
Yeah,
Redstone.
really
Redstone.
expensive.
Netherite. Quartz.
Well, no, we have to go to a different dimension for that.
That's all the way over here. The sleeping Scoria, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Have you actually know how expensive lapis is?
Nope.
To get lapis paint, like if you had a tube of paint like this big, that's like $3, right? The same tube of lapis paint is like $20.
Huh.
Lapis is actually very expensive and makes a very unique shade of blue.
No, it's not. You find a bunch of it. You only use it for your enchantments.
It's because we have no use for it in Minecraft. But on the planet Earth,
Well, we play modded Minecraft,
There's,
so there's
like-
a lot of uses for lapis.
there's lots of uses. It does all kinds of crap. I think. I don't remember. I don't use it.
It does stuff.
Just like
Well, we made it
snack
one day's travel.
snack break every 10 minutes.
I know it's true. It's true.
Why I
That's
ate
why. So I
beforehand.
literally said before we started, I hope we get to Ryver tonight.
Just because all the stuff.
It might not happen. It might not happen. We'll see.
So Alex is just gonna be back next week. So what did you do last week, guys?
We walked.
Walked about 20 feet.
Yeah, walked. Not even traveled. Walked.
We walked.
Walked and ate rice.
Yeah. Throwing the rice eaters.
Rolling the boys.
Or throwing the rice beaters.
Did he also go to get a second serving?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a second serving, but he said, I'll go get my food.
Yeah. What are you drinking, Jason?
This wine cooler that Raven got me like 2 weeks ago, and I never drank it. It's an apple wine cooler. It tastes fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Cool.
I got the Jim Beam in the back, but that's a forbidden drink. I get a little out of hand. I get a little white girl wasted. Oh my goodness.
White
Wow.
girl wasted. Well.
What did you say, Donnie?
Oh yeah, fun news. I got into the union, and I got myself a union job.
Oh. Wait,
Now
so you have a
make-
new job again?
Which
Yes, I have a
one?
new job again. The old job was fart. I really didn't like their vibe, so now I have a newer job.
Nice.
What
And-
union?
Doing the same thing?
The local 412 pipe fitters union, which encompasses like every trade here.
So are you still working in HVAC?
Yes. But
Nice.
now I make way more money.
Nice.
Local 412 Plumbers and Pipe Fitters, located on San Pedro Drive, Southeast Albuquerque, New Mexico.
You're just
Yeah.
doxing him.
We knew he lives in New Mexico. Building
I've
and
been to his
servicing
house.
all New Mexico and El Paso, Texas area for over 100 years.
It's true. They were founded in 1910.
Holy schmoly, that's old. That's almost as old as Tim.
It's almost 100. It's almost 114 years ago.
Almost.
Not quite. That's cool. So Donnie, next time you need a new webcam, you're gonna buy your own. So I don't have to buy it for you.
No, he's
right?
not.
Come on.
No, he'll just be like,
Union-
it's fine. I don't need to be on
That's
video.
not fair.
Dude,
Yeah.
Tim,
Pretty much.
union
Or,
dues are
no,
expensive.
he'll be like-
all right.
He'll be like, you know what? My phone has a camera, and he'll just set his phone up somewhere and connect on Zoom that way. Be the tiny pixelated Donnie.
I was my friends and I were talking about unions the other day, and we were like, why would you ever pay $400 to get into a union? We could use that money to get an Xbox and Watch Dogs 2. Think about it.
Because you'll
And
make
that
all
way,
of
by
that
playing
back.
Watch Dogs 2, you learn how to hack. And then you're hacking
Mm-hmm.
your company system. And
No.
Oh man,
It's really the
what
better
company
deal.
was it that actually did that? Put that as a thing? There was a company that did that. It was like instead of, I forget what it was.
like
Some
instead
company
of
actually had that as the argument. Instead of joining a union, buy yourself an Xbox.
Delta.
Yeah, that's,
of course it's Delta.
that's stupid.
Of course, it's Delta.
I'm going to make back my union dues with just my pay increase after a week. And then some. Like a lot. To join the union it was $160. Like, okay, one day, boom, made it back.
Yeah, what the heck?
Get out of here.
Nice.
Unions are
One
great.
day
You
is
should
work
all-
for union benefits? Yes,
you should
please.
all join unions.
I don't
And
need
we're
one.
good.
Here,
Because we're a
this
small
was-
company.
This was the poster.
Make
Right.
a union. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's go on to the second thing.
Okay. Razir, as you're sitting there alone with your thoughts, go ahead and just make a perception check for me for the night.
Perception check.
He can't get into the bubble if I don't let him. The strange man.
16.
So, why is Reserve taking a rogue level to get expertise and perception?
No. Might not be a bad idea.
That, or I take what is it?
Or I'll just take
Oh no, I shouldn't because there's
Skilled.
prior.
I'll just take the skilled feat and get
Yeah.
expertise on something.
Yeah, I said take a roguelike level. You get feats every 4 level. We could take
Yeah, either way.
So as the rain
levels,
is kind of coming down throughout this night, it's dripping down off the leaves. That you can hear the sound outside, which is it's calming. It's kind of comforting, even though there's the occasional flash of lightning kind of off in the distance, and the eventual roll of thunder that comes through during one of those flashes of lightning. Probably about, I don't know, maybe you can't even quite tell, maybe a few hundred feet away from the dome, it looks like there's the outline of a very small person, just and then gone. And then you kind of wait, and another flash of lightning, maybe like a minute later, and there's nothing.
That's got to be the wrestler Jupiter keep down.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know if you're doing
So
anything, but that's the
I mean,
one time, probably about
I'll
4
keep
in
an
the
eye out.
morning. 4 in the morning.
I'll keep an eye out and be on alert for that.
Okay. So if all you're doing is sitting and waiting and kind of just being perceptive, you don't see anything else for the rest of the night. It's just that one occasion.
Okay.
I don't like this. At first I thought it was Razir's Mystery Man, but now I don't know.
All right, moving on to the second day. Well, the rain subsides. Come the morning, everything is super wet as the dome disapparates. The ground where you're sitting is dry, but then there's the leaves above you that are onto your heads as everybody wakes up and gets themselves some breakfast in the morning, whatever that may be. I'm assuming Louise is doing something with breakfast.
Because Outlander with a wonderful feature.
Mm-hmm. Can you give me a one sentence? What are they having for breakfast?
Food. No, it's
Food. Good. Okay. On to the next day.
I have to kind of look like maybe found some eatable berries and maybe like tried to scavenge a bit of the bones from Gates.
Bottomless
Slaughtered
French
last
toast.
night with a bit of broth with it, like maybe killed a few rabbits, stuff like that.
So you set yourself up a fire and kind of cook a little bit for the morning, and okay, easy enough to do. Even though a lot of the wood around is wet.
I just realized that about the wood. Could we take it into the hut and then instantly the wood have dried?
Yeah. You mean it's dry on the outside at least.
So we
It'll burn.
cut it, then it becomes dry.
You gotta make wood
Wow.
chips.
Microscopic. Okay, moving on to the second day of travel. Which way are you guys going? To the right? Or
Yeah, which way did we say we were going?
I don't care where we're going, but I'm rolling today, fellas.
I'm voting
Oh, boy.
for left since
I
it's
vote
faster.
the right. Because it makes sense.
So one
Go
vote
this
for each
way.
right now. 2 for
Right.
left. Eric, right or left?
It different either way. If we go
Alright.
right, we can have any corroboration from stories of other travelers would be that we came from the east rather than came from north, so that might cover our track a bit. So I guess I'd say to the right.
Sure,
Alright.
we'll go right. I like that.
Well
plan.
then, Black Star.
Get out of here. We're going right.
All right, yeah.
Okay. You're adding one extra day of travel.
That's fine.
A 17. Oh,
So
boy.
that's the Red Dragon.
Yep.
No, guys, this is a good thing. We're gonna stumble upon a good thing today. I decree it.
You know what? You're right. Now that we don't have Duke, we all have to chip in and trying to be positive in the group. And not all doom and gloom all the time.
Was Duke ever really positive though? He was like,
No.
He's saying that now that he's gone,
Yeah.
he can be
now
positive.
that he's gone, we can be positive. We would be positive, and he's like,
No more
but
Debbie
there's
Downer.
no God. He was like, you can't say that and then be like, oh, there's no God.
God
Like
is dead
there's
and
like
we
10
killed him.
there's 10 different gods, bro. Like you need to thank one of them. Like be grateful.
You eventually make your way out of the dense, thick forest and out into the rolling hills and plains. And far, far off in the distance, you can see kind of like a bit of fog almost, like miles away. But it's not perfectly flat, but as you crest over the tops of various hills, there's an outcropping of rocks here and a few like dotted trees off in the distance off to your left hand side, deciding to kind of turn in this direction. And it's not slow going, but there's rain puddles kind of pooled at the bottom of these various little valleys and whatnot. They're kind of running off into making larger streams and heading in a southerly direction. About 3/4 of the way through the rest of this day, you see at the top of one of the hills, maybe a 1/4 mile off from where you are right now, there's a figure standing at the top of one of the hills, and it looks like just from this distance you can make out that they're maybe carrying a staff or a walking stick of some kind, and they look like they have something bulky on their back.
Oh, this guy's wise.
That's about as much as you can make out from this distance.
This person is going to bestow timeless
Guilty
amounts of
cat.
wisdom upon me.
Yeah, it's the cat.
Okay. Are you guys... Everybody sees this kind of off in the distance a little bit, this man who's... or person who's kind of... doesn't appear to be moving. Do you guys continue forward? You're heading in their direction.
How far away is he?
What is a 1/4 mile?
All right.
No, I'm asking what's
are
a
we
quarter...
on-
How many feet is a 1/4 mile?
I was going to say, are
Yeah,
we
that's what
on
I'm looking
Jeopardy
up.
now? What is...
Is that like 1,200, 1,500 feet, something like that?
1,321 feet.
I was close. Okay.
I can't get back in as myself because I'm apparently already taken.
That's
I can
Give it a
reload the
bit.
whole thing.
just let us log off before in case it does the same thing to us.
Okay.
Just logged off, just to be sure.
Give me 1 sec.
I love that. 1/4 mile is 1,320 feet. 1/4 a kilometer, 250
Oh,
meters.
did it just crash?
It logged me out for some reason.
Yeah, log me out too.
I have lost connection to the server. Logging back in as the game master.
I mean, in yards, it's 440.
Get out of here with your yards.
I'm back in, no problem.
Logging back in.
I cannot select myself still.
Yeah, you're still here.
That's
I
fun.
mean, you're in. Oh, I can.
It does. It
I can
says
kick you.
he's in. Oh,
I,
yeah,
I,
do that.
I just kicked you.
Okay. Nope, still can't select myself.
Give it a minute.
Oh, that's weird. I logged in. Show as common display. What does that even mean?
I'm still not
I can
selectable.
ban
I'm
you and
here.
then unban you.
I'm here as Adam for now.
Okay.
It's fine.
I guess you could just give him control of Adam's his token.
I think I
through
already had it.
Well,
Right.
not as
you'd have to
Adam.
Right. Whatever. We're not worried about it right now.
Yeah, right now it's fine. Okay. So you go down the next hill, kind of sloshing through the little bits of mud and whatnot from the pooling water that's kind of going by, little streams again through the various valleys that are here. Cresting over the next hill, the figure is now on the next hill and is now closer to you and is about maybe 1,000 feet away.
But he moved hills.
He doesn't look like he's mid walking. He's just closer. He's on the next hill closer to you.
It like he
Oh.
teleported.
Huh.
It's a weeping angel. Okay.
No.
Or what is that? SCP 113 or something?
Yeah, the one that
What is that?
snaps people's neck, right?
Yeah.
73?
I don't know, one of them.
I know
Anyways.
there's a 3 and a 1 in there.
Should,
Sure, it's
should,
7.
should I send my bird over to see?
It's 173.
I don't know.
I guess yeah. I'll send my bird over and once again do the beast sense.
Okay. So the hawk kind of flies outwards, right, and kind of does a soaring motion. You guys move forward.
Well, I'm unable to see right now, so keep that in mind.
Is
We
Xander
are-
driving the horse?
Is that what I'm doing?
If not, I can just take the reins. And
Yeah,
move
take
horse.
the reins. Xander is not a land vehicles kind of guy.
Gotcha.
You
What?
put him behind a horse. If it goes crazy, it's a wrap. It's over.
Okay. So you guys continue forward, and you're going down kind of the next dip. It's not like a perfect repeating pattern of hills, but there's enough of them when you're going down the next one and up, you lose sight of where the figure is. Louise, looking through the hawk, just at the point where everybody crests down to where you can't see him anymore, the figure like goes, oh, and then runs to the next hill.
Oh my
That
god!
is so much
Literally,
better.
like runs,
Okay.
runs, get to the top of the hill and then stand still and wait.
I do believe-
Did you guys?
Yeah, I'm able to speak, just not hear myself or see anything. So
Right.
I'll just say, guys, he's not teleporting. He's just running really fast.
That's what I said.
That is so stupid.
That's so funny, dude.
Okay, this is less weeping angel, more the mailman from Ocarina of Time.
And
That's so
apart from
funny.
him running like a madman, do I see anything like special about him?
He looks like he's wearing. I mean, from what you can tell, you know what? Go ahead and make a perception check with the bird, because you're kind of far away, kind of. $15? Okay. Best you can make out, you can definitely make out the features of kind of a long, billowing, like whitish grayish beard coming down to like the midsection of the front. Mostly bald on top with some tufts of hair around like what look to be really large ears and some ragged robes and rags that this person's wearing, and you can't quite make out what the giant bulge is that's on this person's back. It's definitely like an old man, essentially. Might be just wearing sandals. It's interesting.
I mean, it's impressive to be running that fast with sandals on.
Does he look winded? Is he like tired? That he's doing this?
You can't not with a 15. You're not gonna tell from this distance.
And like, when he gets on top of a hill, like he strikes a pose. Like,
He does. He gets to the top of the hill, and you see him kind of like on the like by the time this happens the third time, you guys are maybe only like. I mean, Razir could shoot him if he wanted to, but, you know, maybe 300 feet away, whatever, right?
I could have shot him before, too.
300 feet at this point, right?
because
by
you
the
have a
time get to
600 feet range, right?
Yes.
And Trell has 300.
600.
Dude, I think it'd be really funny.
600 as
You
well.
just pick this guy off on the way.
I think it would just
I
be
also
so
have
funny.
600 foot range then with the bow.
Oh my goodness,
I
you
think
guys
it'd
are
be
so
funny
stupid.
If this
I know
guy
it's- I don't have sharpshooters. So you have
struck,
this advantage.
if he struck a pose, but like he's sweating buckets, and he's like, but because we're so far, we don't notice.
Right, so the third time, before you guys crest over the hill, you see through the eyes of your hawk him kind of lean down on like one leg for a second, and he looks like he's just kind of like looking around. You can't can't quite make out if he's breathing heavily or not. Maybe he bent down to tie the shoelace of his sandal. You don't know. But eventually he comes back up straight, and it looks more like a gnarled walking stick staff. You're not entirely certain, but that's what he's carrying. And then as soon as you get the sense, you can look over at the party with yourself included down on the ground, kind of cresting over the top of the hill. He's like this, and comes to attention. And then I don't know if you guys are you doing anything? Are you waiting? Or you're just moving? And
No, keep walking.
Are we just gonna keep going towards him?
Yeah, whatever.
Once we get into
He's just
earshot, we can ask this
standing there.
fella what he's doing.
Menacingly.
Like, just why is he doing that?
Maybe it's
Like,
his morning exercise.
So when we're like, we're like 300 feet away, about to go down the next hill. Like, I can give him a wave, like, "Hey, bud," and then we'll just keep walking forward.
okay, so it looks like over like the next course of this, you're going to meet on the same hill at this point. So now he goes down and he like runs up to the top and gets there before you guys get there.
This guy's fast. He's like Duke.
runs up to the top and stands there. You guys come up over the crest, and you can now see he is drenched in sweat. He is like sweating profusely from every pore. His clothes are soaking wet, and his sandals look like they're almost worn off the bottom of his feet. It's like kind of like a greenish blue tint to the ragged robes that he's kind of wearing over himself. One of his eyes looks like it's been ruined by something. It's like kind of glazed over and white on the other side. The other one is just like a pale brown coloration to it. He doesn't look worse for wear, just really tired and sweaty at this point.
Away from him at this point?
I mean, you're coming up on being like just 60 feet from him, just right up on the
okay?
Yeah, yes.
Why are you doing that?
Well, you see, looking for particular kinds of individuals. You're travelers, yes?
What, do you need a ride?
No.
Then why are you running?
Are you guys continuing to move forward, or do you stop 60 feet from him, or do you move right up?
No,
we'll
we'll keep
walk right
going.
up
Yeah,
to
we'll
him.
get right up to him.
Have a
Okay.
normal conversation.
So he makes sure that he's like off to the side, so as not to be directly in your path as you're walking up.
Terrell
to him, so,
turns so that
kinda-
we're going to hit him.
He like shuffles off to the side a little bit with his walking stick. Looks to be a human man in his 80s, maybe, which is odd.
Mm-hmm.
Odd.
And so, yep, it is odd. And so he's just kind of standing there, and
Detect
he doesn't
magic.
detect magic, just senses magic items, or what does it detect?
All
Magic.
Magic.
All sources of magic.
Detect magic detects magic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right there.
The whole of this person is magic. I don't know what else to say.
What school is it?
What school of magic is this person?
I'm assuming it's an illusion.
It does to your eyes seem to be an illusion, yes. But it's an illusion that just moved 1,600 feet, so you don't...
That, or he's like, as an illusion around himself.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to trick us.
He kind of like, as he's talking, he shifts his pack, which looks almost as big as he is, and as he moves it, there's like the sound of clinking coins on the inside of it. Like his entire bag, which is almost hanging to the ground, pulling him backwards, is full of, I don't know, thousands of gold that's just on his back. And he's got this staff, and he just kind of plants it in the ground and holds himself forward as he kind of leans a little bit to hold the weight of the gold that's holding him back in his bag. You look like just the right kind of adventurers that I'm looking for, and it's very nice to see, fresh faces out in the wilds. I'm surprised you haven't been eaten or captured. Who might you be?
We're throwing the boys.
All right, well, we could skip the pleasantries if you wish and just move on to more important things. Never heard
I
of
think the question here as well is, who are you? You're not wrong when you say that things are dangerous around here, and we're more than capable of handling ourselves. But we ain't alone like you, old timer.
Well, I hail from far away and just find weary adventurers in need of some coin and in need of a good blessing.
Are you a monk?
Sometimes.
How do you move so fast?
Is that really all you care about?
Well, I mean,
Kinda.
you're sweating buckets out here. Like, do you need water? I have water.
I have no need for water.
Oh, this guy is totally a monk.
I was gonna say he's just like Razier.
Are you dead?
Look,
Get
I'm
outta
not
here.
dead, thank you very much.
Well, I would be willing to share some of my fine boons with you if you would just share with me a fine story of your adventures you've experienced.
I think I'm a really stupid
I
story.
mean, we fought a giant undead
Insight
lizard.
check.
Make an insight check. What are you trying to insight check that he's being...
I want to see, like, is he actually offering us something, or is he just like, yeah, I just want a story, man. Just tell me a story, and I'll go on my way. Like, is he actually offering something of value?
Ooh.
22.
I know. Yeah, he seems thoroughly honest in what he's saying to you. That literally he's going to give you something. He hasn't told you what. He just said, "I'll give you boons."
He
if
said a
you-"
boon. It's a boon, guys. Holy cow!
No,
We met
You-
like
you
the
misheard
dragon
him.
from
It's a
Dragon Ball
boon.
Z. This guy is giving
Booze.
us a boon.
it's a boot. The boot.
All right.
But the story must be a truthful story through and through. I will know if you are lying.
Okay.
Will he? Will he?
I mean,
Willie Lowe.
I don't really like to lie.
Okay.
You
I was gonna say we killed a giant undead lizard.
It's a good one.
Pete did do that.
I mean, and Xander here still has what was it? One of his claws, one of his teeth.
Oh yeah, do you want to see? I have a couple things actually. And I'll go and I'll pull out. Let's see the various bones I have. I'll pull out. Just because I want to be really extravagant about it, I'll pull out one proximal phalange. So a little finger bone.
He
Well, little finger bone.
Yeah, no, I mean
Yeah.
it's a big finger bone, like. But
So
yeah.
with his left hand, he kind of reaches into his robes and pulls out some kind of ocular device, which Razier,
spyglass?
detect magic lasts like lasts like
it lasts as long as I wanted to.
well,
I
last
can
10
cast it
minutes,
at
but you can
will.
recast it though, right? Is that
Yeah.
how that works? Okay, so
Yeah.
he pulls it out, and there's kind of like a little bit of a blip in the magic, and you kind of see through it somehow for like a brief second, and there's maybe just a little bit of a hint of green skin, just in this little like
So he's
sight.
an orc.
And he pulls this out. I mean, he could be an orc. You don't know.
Or
Lots of people have green skin.
Pulls out this little thing and kind of like holds it up, takes a staff and like pulls it down, and there's like a little setting at the top of it where there's a crystal with a hole inside of it. Places it inside and turns it, and the entire crystal, which is blue, lights up. And he like holds it up to this little bone and looks through it. You know, this is quite fascinating, but I'd really like to hear the story behind it.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, we ended up going to this.
I'm just eyeing him this whole time. Just watching him, looking for any discrepancies in what is this illusion and whatnot.
And
Just keeping an eye on him.
99.9% of the
Real
time,
close.
both eyes are fixed on Xander as Xander is telling this extravagant story. But about like halfway through the story, one of his eyes just switches over and looks at Razir and then back at Xander.
It's probably a
Do you want me to tell this story? Or
No,
do
we
you
could
want-
just say that
okay.
you recount the story of the Rising Requiem. I mean, you could
Yeah.
paraphrase it if you want to in Xanderese.
In Xanderese. Yeah, it would be like, yeah, so we went to this really interesting museum. We met this really interesting also wizard guy. I'm a wizard in case you didn't know.
Oh,
But
fascinating.
yeah, it's so we met this really interesting guy, and he told us to go clear out the museum. So we peeked off to the right, and there was this like big tar pit, and I was like, I don't really want to go through there, so I left. And then we went to the other side, and there was this ball that was trying to kill us. We had a really good friend who like jumped off the ball and then got to the other side, and then like we turned
Killer
off
balls.
killer balls, like huge, massive killer balls. And then we got through, and then there was the T-Rex. So then we took care of.
What's
We
a
don't know it's a
T-Rex?
T-Rex.
Oh,
We
there
know
was
it's a
the
big
undead lizard. And then
Lizard.
and then we managed to kill
Like
it.
a
and it-
lizard, like this big.
No, it
like
was
a
like it
lizard.
was like whoa,
Like the size of
super big.
like 3 horses, like that big.
And like stacked, like if you stack them, like
Why
not
would-
even like.
Why would you
like-
stack horses?
well,
Measure things, of course.
Yeah, I mean like
Or to get on
I
top of
don't-
something tall, yeah. Okay.
Wait, you want me to ask that to the horses?
Why would
I
you stack
could.
horses?
Yeah.
and as it turns out, that lizard thing was actually the undead lizard pet of the person we met earlier in the story. It's a pretty crazy revelation. We ended up getting through. We killed a giant electric spider, and then when we left,
Electric
that same wizard guy that we like met with earlier. Turns out he was like super strong. So he got us out of a really tough spot, and then we were carried out by him, and then we made it out.
Oh, do you happen to know the name of this wizard?
You
It's
can't lie.
yeah, it's
I can.
it's Vudos.
Oh, Vudos. Oh, Em and I go way back.
Do you now?
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
14.
Is Razir getting in on this?
Yeah.
Everybody's insight checking at this point.
I mean, this guy's a
Everybody.
charlatan. He's scamming
All
us.
right.
2 23s
Now, Razir knows
and 2 14s. Wow.
no Razir knows that there's some kind of illusion going on here. So he could theoretically, if the entire thing is an illusion, he can make his face look like whatever he wants to. But Louise and Razir both kind of being able to hone in on kind of the words that are being said and the inflection in the words themselves. He believes what he's saying. Whether you do or not, that's up to you.
I'm gonna go back to my notes really quick. Just
All right,
curious.
so there's your.
No way, dude. All right. I was just curious. I was like, is there a lizard folk statue? And I was like, there sure is.
It was, yes.
Right, so there's your story, old man.
Right. What an incredible story. You see, I travel the countryside in search of folk who are willing to give of themselves for the good of my own heart, so that I can rest and be able to make it through the rest of my days, as it were.
Old are you?
Oh, older than most, I'm afraid. But the real thing is that you're considering is your reward. I'll give you a choice. You can take my special boon that I will give to you, or you can take an amount of gold, an unsaid amount of gold. That is your choice, which you should choose to receive.
And I'm guessing you're not gonna tell us what type of boon it is.
Well, of course not. That would ruin the fun. It's either a boon,
Wait.
gold, or one of you can choose to learn a fortune.
Tim has been on TikTok too much.
I've been on TikTok too much?
Learn,
Yeah, it's just like
learn
those-
a fortune.
Do you want the money or what's in the mystery box?
Yeah.
I've never been on, I don't even
Double
have
it and
TikTok.
give us
I've
to the
never
next
been on
guy.
TikTok.
Sir, you've been accused of murder and you're sentenced to life in prison. Double
Double
it and pass it on.
I don't want it. Give it to the next guy.
Wow.
Fine.
That's funny.
Uh,
Nope, never been on TikTok
Okay.
before.
hold on. So what does he
It's a
mean by
terrible
fortune? Like is that
I mean-
like? Would we know what that means, or is he just like
Yeah, like
"Ooh,"
reading your fortune.
like that? Okay.
I was gonna
He's-
say we already have someone that does that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Yeah,
can
we've
do
got
that.
that. We can make more money.
Money. We don't
I mean-
have use for money.
Yeah, I'd say we go for the boon.
Before we continue, really, I'm just
You
curious.
don't know. You don't know what it is. You don't know what any of it is, honestly.
What's your name?
We don't know what gold is.
You can just call me JJ.
Insight check.
Stop.
You can't insight check when he's telling you to call him. Come on.
Is that his name?
It's probably not his name.
Yeah.
He's
I mean-
telling you to call him that.
Okay.
His name is whatever the heck he wants you to call him. That's his name.
JJ. Okay.
His name's JJ.
I'll look around
Abrams.
at everybody.
Wow.
Whoa! I'll look around at everybody.
You don't all have to choose all the same thing. You can all choose individually.
Wow.
Oh, so
I
we
have...
each get one.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I thought you wanted more stories. Okay.
Okay.
I'll go first. I'll take the boon.
I'll take a boon.
And as soon as you say it, he like walks up to you and takes the staff and attempts to hold it up to your forehead, but then first like kind of looks at you and cocks the head to the side slightly and may I?
I'm guessing that's part of the boon. Yes.
He's trying to you said you wanted a boon.
Oh,
This is
yeah,
what he's
I'll
doing.
lower myself there. My head,
Okay.
I guess. Yeah.
Comes up and like bunk on the head. Just hits you on the head. You don't take any damage.
It's Rafiki. Oh my gosh.
It's Rafiki!
For the actually go ahead and roll a d4 for me.
D4.
Oh god, guys. I don't know if these are
One.
real boons or if these are like
For the
like
next
he's just calling
24
them
hours,
boons.
your knees will hurt when it's going to rain.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness.
Like surely he wouldn't give me a boon of quick casting.
Wait, sorry, I just remembered that I have 60 good berries now. Sorry. I was looking at my notes and I forgot to
Okay.
fill it out.
So you feel like all the muscles in your body just tense and tighten, and you can hear your heartbeat like in your head. It's just like boom, 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 like, and you just feel like ripped all of a sudden. Your strength score for the next 24 hours is 22.
Wow!
Crap.
we gotta pick up a mission quick.
What the heck?
We gotta pick up a job now.
All right.
It's a shame we saw this guy outside of town. Yo, you want to come take a ride with us, man? You want to come part of the party?
Oh, my adventuring and, getting into scuffles days are over. I've tried to help this world to the best of my ability, and now I just kind of enjoy hearing about it and not being involved in it directly. But I do spend my time just kind of wandering through, so maybe we'll meet up again someday in the future.
Do there
I
happen to
would
be
love
any
that.
yellow finches flying around the sky?
Yellow finches.
Yeah.
You don't see any yellow finches. There's nothing
Okay.
that you see flying around him specifically.
Okay. Just checking. We're not dealing with Bahamut.
You know what?
That's a thing. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and Yeah, he has a human form that he walks around in and hangs out
It's
with people, and then
his human form is an old man.
yep, his human form is an old
Lots
man,
of
and he's followed around by
people's
like
forms
10
are old
golden
men.
finches, I think, which are all ancient gold dragons polymorphed into birds that just
Okay.
follow him around.
Fun.
Yeah.
I peruse things and pull inspiration from here and there and make my own versions of whatever I want. So.
All I said was we're not dealing with the Hobbit.
Yeah. Well, just to
I-
clarify for Donnie, this could be a god. You could be. It's probably not, but it could be. Anyways.
I'm going to take an undisclosed amount of gold.
Okay. Alrighty.
I need the money to fund my spell writing, so
Go ahead and roll a d10 for me.
Well, I was just about to say we have yet to split the gold from.
it doesn't matter. The less we use from there, the better.
Alright.
A 10.
You rolled a 10?
Yeah.
So he comes over to you and, like, his arm seemingly, like, unnaturally so elongates and reaches around and becomes like 4 feet long and undoes the clasp on his bag and unfurls it. He's just staring at you
How
while
do you
he's
do
reaching
that?
behind. Oh, you'll see when you get older.
Oh,
and like it reaches
gosh.
pulls it forward.
Yeah, no, it's
This is-
reaches
just,
it,
it's
Okay.
just advanced
And he-
arthritis. It's
and he
fine.
pulls it. You
Advanced
hear like
arthritis.
as he's like doing
Yeah,
it.
it's-
He pulls out a little satchel and kind of throws it to you. And do you catch it?
No, it definitely hits my like chest, and I'm like, ah.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Broken ribs.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Oh.
Okay, so it hits you like a ton of bricks, and you are almost thrown
Ow.
off of the horse. And it's like you just get knocked back for a second, but you hold on, and it hits the horse, and the horse visibly like gets down.
What?
What is in here?
You want to put it in the
wait.
hole?
Wait, that's. Hold on. And he goes up and kind of looks like his head turns all the way around to look inside
Okay.
the bag, and then
Okay.
and then he comes forward. He's like, "No, that's the wrong one. Sorry, there's one here." Here, and
We're
he hands
definitely
you
dealing with an SCP here.
a sack, and on the inside there are 100 platinum coins.
What? That's an insane amount of money.
Oh my god. Guys, I'm funded. Holy
what is it
smokes.
like? 100 gold per spell level?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, no, not
Well-
per spell level. It's
No, it's 50 per spell level.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm paying 300 gold to like learn these 4 spells. Like,
Yeah.
I have 700 left over.
Well, isn't it? It's 100 gold.
Shopping.
I thought it was 100 gold's worth of paper and fine paper and ink. Magical ink or regular fine
No,
ink.
it's dependent on the spell level. Like
Oh.
like you'd use more or less paper and ink in order to scribe this into your book.
Gotcha.
what it
Um,
says.
It's based on the spell level of the
Yeah.
For
scrolls
each
you're trying to
level-
get.
It says
So like
Cost 50 gold.
Yeah, so like if I was level 9, then I would be paying like if it was a level 9 spell, that's 450 gold on its own for me to scribe, and the amount of time is far longer.
Yeah, so
3
it's-
hours per level.
it's 2 hours and 50 gold per spell level.
Gotcha.
So scribing a 9th level spell would be 18 hours.
and 450 gold.
Which is
I don't know.
that's
Wow.
worth it. That's worth
That I mean, that's worth it. That's worth it.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's
Just
next?
spend a whole day doing that.
Xander is just like it's like stars in his eyes, looking in the pouch.
Now, I've been quite generous thus far. Is there anything else you want to share? Tell me anything. Is there anything crazy going on in the world that you think I should know about that maybe I might be able to help with that I probably won't get involved with? I'm just curious.
Well, I was wondering, have you heard of Oten?
I heard of Oten.
Yeah, well, I say one of the gods.
What gods are you talking about right now? What are we talking about?
One of your gods you created.
It's not. None of them should be named
100
Oten.
platinum.
Yeah.
Oh, Atun.
Otun, oh, it's all right.
I'm like, what-
don't know.
Guys, 100 platinum.
let me just. Ah,
1,000 gold, right?
That's a
Oh.
1,000 gold.
Otun you speak of, yes. I know of Otun.
Okay, it's just you remind me a bit of him. That's why.
You've met her?
No, it's just what they say about them. They say it's all about the journey. You're clearly having like going through a journey right now.
She just thinks that that's something interesting to have be said about herself. She's not actually interested in the journey. She wants...
dude, this is totally a god that's like, I hate Otun, man. Why are you comparing me to that stupid god? Like, we are not the same.
Because I was wondering, she's usually interested in what people did in those journeys, like you are right now.
That's what my... Look, as far as immortal life is concerned, there's only so much you can fill it with. So learning from others and gaining their experiences allows me to be able to further my efforts before I pass on from this world.
Right?
And by efforts, I mean just my mind and being able to sleep at night by myself by a campfire while I think about all of your adventures that I'm not getting to have.
I mean, we did offer you to come with us.
Well, some of us are destined to be alone.
Aw.
I mean, if that's how you see it.
Doesn't
Say,
have to be
that's
that
how you
way.
see it when you're forced to. Now, what else is there that's going on in the world that I could delve into and experience on my own? Any uprisings in the government and people betraying others and something? The king's crown was stolen and it was fed to the dragon of the underground seat of disdain.
Wow,
Well,
that
not
sounds-
exactly that, but one of the
Oddly specific.
Yeah, that's like did that happen?
one of the governors of on the council of Alisnarian was kidnapped by the Chainless not too long ago, but he managed to escape thanks to some assistance from some friends of his at the time. People he met.
You mean the rebels?
Acquaintances.
You're talking about the rebels.
No, I ain't.
But I'm pretty sure you are, though.
Nah, the Chainless kidnapped the council member, and then he managed to escape with
Help of his friends.
well, they were friends of circumstance. Others who were also trying to get away from the Chainless.
Oh. Well, last I knew, Saigar was involved with the rebels. I guess maybe he would help elsewhere. Do you know who they were?
Who were the people who helped him out?
Yeah.
Well, of course I know him. He's me.
I think they're insinuating.
Oh, and Freckles over here.
Hello.
Do you
Weird day.
need help clearing that up, or you prefer to look like that?
I'm good.
No, to Thrall. To Thrall.
Like, the dirt? No, it's just dirt. I'll wash it off later.
All right.
Are you talking about the dirt or the
She won't
freckles?
wash it off later.
It's the funniest looking dirt I ever saw, but
I think the freckles are nice.
to each their own, lad. Anyways, Saigar
But,
being captured by the Chainless. Those Chainless will learn one day or another.
That's what we're hoping too.
Anyways, well, thank you for the bit of information. What would you like, sir? He doesn't treat you any differently for your appearance or say anything to you about this fact that Sparrow looks the way that Sparrow does. He doesn't care.
Sparrow is just
the only thing he
Sparrow
cares
looks
about.
like a horse. All right.
The only thing he cares about if you have dirt on your face.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, I'm having a hard time deciding here. Both of those things seem mighty fine.
Well, there are three options.
Right, the fortune thing. I ain't too interested in that for a couple of reasons, but appreciate the offer on that one.
Well, the fortune doesn't have to necessarily be about your future. It could be a piece of information you are looking for that I could perhaps conjure up. Piece of information you could certainly be about your future. It could also be about your past. It comes down. It can get a little bit dicey sometimes, depending on how you look at it. But we could see what we could do. I understand whichever way you choose. I just wanted to clarify exactly what was at stake.
In my mind, I am going to just real quickly.
You're so dumb.
In my mind, I'm just going to be Veriloth. Should I ask him about him?
Interesting.
Wait, what was the name you just said?
He's
I
saying it
can't-
in his
In
mind.
his mind.
I know, but I want to
I'm
know.
not gonna repeat it. I'm not gonna repeat it.
Oh, you're saying this in your mind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the voice comes through in your head, and it's literally it's a familiar voice, which I mean, there's voices kind of changes here and there throughout the various conversations, but it comes through as it would no, and that's all you get.
Oh, is there like a magic blockage going on or something?
No, he's just getting bad reception. far from the cities.
That's
It's
funny.
so I will say this: you've never experienced that before.
Yeah.
And there's and as you
I'll-
are
I'll-
saying it in your head,
Guys-
there's and then that happens. There's just a little smirk that comes up on the old man's.
Dude,
mouth, and he
I
just
think
kinda
I think
smirks at you.
everybody we've met up until this point has been a poser. We could take everybody except for this guy. If we went into combat with this guy, it's over.
I don't know about Vudos, but
I guess a poser.
wow.
I hit him.
Wow.
Hit him with a rhymes binding ice. Make you forget that you can use your action to thaw free, and then it's a free win.
Yep. Our victory relies on the DM misplaying. Got it. Right.
So deal with that on your own. Yep.
Give me 2 seconds to process how Zir would react to this.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh no. I have to make a decision here about this character. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, I'm looking for someone. And, any, leads you might have on where they're at would be a good fortune for me, I guess.
I think I understand your meaning. Unfortunately, because your question was posed in somewhat of a vague manner, unfortunately, I'm only able to respond in a vague manner. So I will give you a chance to rephrase your question and request.
I'm gonna step up closer to him and pull out the soul jar. And I'm looking for the one who's connected to this.
So you're whispering to him, or you're just getting closer to him, and
I step a little closer, so it's not just like, look at what I got. It's
so you
this guy.
kind of pull it
I'm
out.
just
You
like,
step like up to him, kind of like
not
right
that
up.
close, but like within a couple of steps. Yeah.
Okay. Pull it out, hold out in front of you. You're looking for this person.
I'm still keeping it like close to myself. I'm not like offering it to him, but just like.
Guys. Really greedy. What does that even mean? How
Is it greedy? Or did I spell it wrong?
because
I'm
your
moron.
party. No,
yeah, I
that's,
have the party funds. That's
pass
why.
the banana down. I feel like the party fund should be just like the 1,095 should be in the
D&D
notes.
Beyond, for some reason, D&D Beyond calculates it like at the top. I have the entire gold. I have like my own gold plus the portable hole. But
Yeah.
if I go down, I have my own gold and then the gold that's in the bag. The whole.
Okay, so it just
I
kind of
can keep
combines
those
it together.
separated. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's just
Keep
funny
it
seeing that
separated.
huge number at the top.
Yeah.
Are you sure that you want to know something about this individual? There's a dark history, dark past, and a very, very dark future surrounding this individual.
Is this like? Are we able to hear this?
I mean, they're not talking in their heads, so he's talking out loud. You guys are
Well,
maybe
yeah, I know
10
they're
feet
close
behind
together. It was just.
him. You're 10, 15 feet behind Razir, and this guy's like 10 feet from Razir, so...
Okay, they're not whispering, like we can hear them.
I mean,
This isn't
even if they
the-
were, you can read lips.
I was gonna say, well, that's why I was asking. I have the observant feat. So that's why I was asking.
This isn't like Vudos' soldier, right? This is a intact, completely different soldier.
As far as you know, I mean, Razir's not like necessarily hiding it. He pulled out a soul jar. I mean, you probably saw him take it from the study. He wasn't doing it subversively.
Oh, that one.
Um,
I forgot he did that.
Well, I'm sure.
the problem is there are things in this world that cause one's conscience to be displayed on the map, so to speak, and one of several possible locations. For instance, as I concentrate on this Vito Zenobia that you're enraptured with for some reason, there's a ping on the map right where we're standing right now, as I'm assuming that's what you're holding there. But there's one on the Mount of Solitude west of Ryver, and there's also one within Anchor's Folly.
What the heck is Anchor's Folly?
If you've never been east of the Turnback Towers, then you wouldn't know where Anchor's Folly is.
Anywhere specific in the folly?
My gosh. Make me pull out my stuff.
Must have.
Seems to be some remnants of this Vito Zenobia within the ruins of Aeon. Which is not on any known map that any of you know of. Or you've never heard of Aeon. Actually,
Anywhere else?
Actually, Razir would know exactly where the ruins of Aeon is. Sorry. Yes. So, strongest pull is either within the Mountain of Solitude or within the ruins of Aeon. I think either will give you what you're looking for. I'm sorry, that's the best I could do.
Nah, I appreciate it. That's a lot. Thank you.
All right. And you, the one with the dirty face.
Yeah, it's me. Hi.
Yes. Would you like me to simply just kind of, get a little feather duster in there and just clean things off a bit?
That's fine. Don't worry about it. So I've been thinking about this for a bit. I mean, if you're able to find fortunes and help us look for stuff, I've been looking for something that could help the caravans be less in danger when they travel. You know, like before we found a guy who was able to make door portals. That's pretty good, but that technology's not going to work for a very long time. I was wondering do you happen to know a spot to where I can find something the caravans might work?
Actually, I think that Fulton was onto something all those ages ago. Might be something worth considering for the caravan.
Yeah, it's one of the Fulton things. That's what they when the guy hired us to go down to the museum, we fought the big lizard from that story earlier. I found a couple shards of the Fulton door. He's trying to fix them so we can travel more safely. And I'm wondering if you knew any other things that might help.
Looking for, just to clarify, because it's kind of, again, vague answer gets a vague, or a vague question gets a vague answer. You're looking for something that's vaguely going to protect the caravan and allow it to be successful and not come under danger. Like, what does that actually mean?
So,
Are you looking for guns? Are you looking for, like a big explosion device that stops bad monsters? Or are you looking for, like, a hole that sucks things into it and spits it out somewhere else? I don't know what you're asking for.
Okay. So, while we were in the Museum of Traveling, there were some kind of weird ships that looked like they weren't made for water. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Does that technology still exist anywhere?
You would ask that question, wouldn't you?
I feel like if anybody's gonna ask it, it's
Donnie's in this gosh darn party asking this gosh darn question.
That's Threll's new goal in life. Is get an airship.
Sky dwarves. Yeah.
So now listen. I don't swindle people, but I can only offer you one thing. So if you're asking for an answer to your question, or if you're asking for a location, or if you're asking for a bit of lore or knowledge, I can give you something. But if you ask me simply, do they still exist? And the answer is yes or no, that's all you're going to get. Okay. So if you're happy with that answer, then that's going to be it. But if you are looking for something a little more specific, you have to be a bit more specific.
I would like to know.
Kind of like a wish. You know, like a wish? Yeah. Ever asked a wish before? Kind of like that, but different.
So don't you need to be like really strong to make wishes?
So other than inside of the Rising Requiem, crap, I forgot how to phrase it again.
Where might you find information about those flying ships?
Where might I find information about the weird flying boats?
Information. Okay. Well, information on that particular subject can be found in one of two places. Well, technically one of three places. The first of which would be within the vast and hidden underground libraries within Islasnarian and their secret stores of knowledge about the old world. I'm sure you've heard of that. Maybe you haven't. But they have a vast knowledge of what took place in the old world and all of its catastrophes and what led to this terrible age we all find ourselves in. But that's just a little bit of icing because your questions are still a bit vague. The second place you'd find it is also where Razir asked for. And yes, I know your name. It's nice to meet all of you. Within the ruins of Aeon. I have a British accent all of a sudden for some reason. I couldn't tell you why. Yes, within the ruins of Aeon. And the third location, I'll have for you momentarily.
You look it up real quick. Go check notes.
He just pulls out a old school like Prima strategy guide of just the world.
I mean,
The index.
now again,
Yes.
information that you're looking for, not necessarily.
So just
Uh,
big atlas of the world.
within the city of Yevengras.
You spell that one.
You don't know. It's
Let me
Yevengras.
guess.
Are you asking
It's
him?
Beyond.
I'm asking you.
It's Yeven space Gras.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's pronounced Evengrass.
Even grass.
Evengrass.
I've never heard of that city. Is that east too?
Oh, it's far past the Turnback Towers.
Oh. Well, that sounds like it's going to be quite a trip to get there.
But, I mean, you might find what you're looking for. I think that Evengrass probably has the foremost experts on that technology you're looking for.
Cool.
If I may, one thing that piqued my interest when you talk about Alasnarian's like vast libraries about like the world before the apocalypse. My brother has a book that talks about like the lands, like how the land looked before the apocalypses. Could that book have come from there?
Well, if the book is a magical artifact, it's possible that it may have been pulled from or stolen, somehow dislodged from within the grasp of Reingard. Yes?
All right, thank you.
I'm not saying it was, it's possible. Anyways, what the heck?
Why?
14d6?
Oh, that's funny. I didn't think it would come through. I made a copy of Xander's sheet, and I was like, I'm gonna bump him to 20 really quick and see what his HP would be.
Nice.
So that's we got 45.
Are you bored at all this lore that's coming through right now?
No, it's great. I was like, just for some reason, I was like, you know what? We're almost at level 8. Let me see what other feats I want. So I made a copy.
What we'll do is we'll RP the scenario that Blackstar had in this particular instance when he comes back, because
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's fine.
not gonna assume, and we'll just, if anything comes of it, we'll retcon something. It's just kind of a big deal, especially if he wants some information. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Or lots
Wait,
of money. It
Jason,
does
you
seem
should have
like a
asked
funny
if Black Star's laugh is real.
Ah, you fool.
Missed
Already-
opportunity.
That's
Eh,
amazing.
Man, when we're leaving him, I'll be like, wait.
He's already gone.
I need to know.
Crap. I was gonna look up something.
Crap.
I can say that
that word.
word. Leave me alone.
All right, let's find the limit, guys.
Oh,
Holy.
Crap.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I know what my next feat is.
What is it?
Metamagic Adept.
Man, there's some questions. I'm just realizing you guys could have asked, but hey, I do this every campaign. Eric knows it. Oh, he just put his headset back on. I was just saying that there's a lot of questions you guys could have asked that I do this like every campaign, where I just like give this opportunity to get like any information you want and then just give it away. And nobody asks the world breaking questions, although Donnie's came pretty close. So
All All right, so
Hey,
skyships
it's
are
all
gonna
right.
bridge over
I got 100 platinum. I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
I'll learn about all
That's-
that important stuff later.
Okay.
What's the fun in knowing? I like discovering.
Sorry, just taking notes.
That's not cool, man.
What? You thinking?
How dare you?
Which I don't do that. So, okay. And so it is as we're proceeding on, or are you we're gonna just say that he does his thing with Blackstar. You guys bid him for farewell. Is there anything else that you're gonna say to him as he just makes his way away from you guys and you continue on your journey?
Just a quick little. I hope we can see you again. See you again.
Maybe in the end of days, if you make it that far.
Right.
Are those soon?
Yeah, he's O2 for sure.
The end of days? Are those soon? Oh man, I already used my question.
That remains to be seen, young one. Anyways,
Get out of here, Tom Bombadil.
so after his dealings with Blackstar, you guys say your farewells, and he literally he doesn't move. He actually sits down on the hill and just like, well, goodbye. Like
wait.
says,
You heard his
I'll-
laugh! What? Is it real?
yeah. And you guys take the horses and ride off into the distance.
Well, I was gonna give him a berry.
Oh, you're gonna give him one? Give him a berry? Okay.
Yeah, it like it's full nourishment. He's tired right now. He needs it.
He reaches out to grab it, and before his hand gets within a foot or two of where you're holding it out to him, the berry is seemingly invisibly plucked out of the air. And he uses
or two?
a foot or two from where his fingers are. He's making the motion like he's grabbing it out of your hand, right? But it's like a foot or two from his hand. It's like, and like puts it into his mouth from a foot or two away from
Oh,
his mouth.
this guy's arms longed. Oh, this guy is totally either
All right,
like
so
a
he has
legendary.
invisible arthritis.
This guy's totally a legendary humanoid, or is
He's
just
O2.
is
Sure.
It's Slender Man with a disguised cell phone.
he's
Or-
he's totally legendary. Or
Eric's like
just-
trying so hard to play down whatever this is.
Or he just
no,
has
this is
mage
this
hand
I don't know.
dude, this is such a big deal. It
telekinesis.
shut out Eric's guy, man. Like
Yeah.
that's a big deal. That is a big deal. I don't know who this guy is, but
That's
this
or
is
it's Eric's guy. Woo. And he was running interference, so he wouldn't figure out that he was talking to him like at the same time, basically.
Whatever
Dude,
it
I
is, it was a big deal. And
I can't wait for Xander to get a ham radio and tune into Razier's thoughts.
huh.
Wait, are you gonna take the tech thoughts? Just for that?
Who knows?
Wait, could you guess the TikTok thoughts on Black Star's sword?
I think you
And
can.
You
just
could.
burn,
You could.
You're
burn
right.
I
everything.
don't have
Yeah.
the tech thoughts,
Black
but
Star.
Fire.
Burn
Yes.
if I could access the tech thoughts, then maybe.
Oh man. Oh man. What Blackstar's sword would be saying in regards to this individual right now would just be absolutely hilarious. I can't
Burn
wait
him.
for him to come back
Black Star.
so I can play Super
Burn
Kami Guru
this
some more.
Black
Set him on fire. Burn his toes.
Blackstar, why is the short man wet and not aflame?
Dry him off with fire.
Blackstar, he is sweating. Make it stop.
Evaporate the sweat, Black Star.
I mean, haven't Namekian like in DBZ Bridge, haven't Namekians like almost all died out because of a huge drought? So that guy's sweating, he's wasting water. That's why he wants to kill him.
Dude, It could get us in some really sticky situations. Black Star, there's an oil factory. Do it, Black Star.
There's an
Do it,
orphanage
Black
over
Star.
there. Go burn it.
You know what must be done.
Show them the error of their way.
Oh, yeah. The orphans. Wait, what?
Okay, I have to go put my daughter to bed, so we're gonna take a break there, even though it's almost 10. I'm good to go for whatever amount of time. So we'll get no matter what time I come back, probably get a solid hour if everybody's cool with that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get to the city.
We'll get to right outside and then save entering the town for next week.
Maybe. Yeah, this is not looking so good for the night of getting a Ryver. It's all about the journey, though. It's fun. I'll be back. Okay. One thing I will say is not only throughout the interaction with JJ, this interesting individual who you met with, but also throughout the day's travel and onwards, Louise, that creeping sense of something there, someone there.
That they're not related.
Yeah, it's definitely not this person because the feeling didn't go away. And it isn't like eating away at you like, man, I need to like scratch that itch and figure out what the heck that is. It's just like, just in the back of your mind, like, what is that? Like, it's every hour or so, you're just like, the heck?
Yeah, Louise is
around.
definitely just going insane, becoming paranoid. That's definitely what it is.
So just keep that in mind. And I'm taking into account your passive perception because it's like super high and probably higher than you'd be rolling normally anyways, for the most part.
I need to
Like, as
roll
an
a
average.
15 or above to get either like equal or better.
Right. Yeah. So you're if you rolled a nat 20, you'd have a perception check of 31, correct? Or a 30?
30. Yeah.
30?
Plus 10, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So the remainder of your day goes by unhindered. I hope that we don't forget to give Black Star his stuff when he comes back. Hopefully next week. But you're now in the middle of the plains. You can, by the time you're done with the day's travel and the sun has gone down and you can see the oranges and the purples kind of out on the horizon, you can definitely make out Hope's Range, like way off in the distance, kind of on the horizon line, and like the clouds that kind of peak at the top of the peaks of the mountains itself. But you have these rolling hills. Do you want to try and, I mean, you're going to use Liam and Sunny Hut again, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And you're going to probably make it green to match the ground that's there.
Yeah.
And Razir is probably going to take his 4-hour basic rest, but not really take a watch and just kind of look around. Are you going to... The only question I have is, are you doing it at the top of a hill? Or at the bottom of... Because, again, you call these flatlands, but this isn't,
Not that
back like QOA
Down
flatlands. QOA flatlands, where it was actually flatlands. That's not... Everything about the entire landscape here is like giant moles made stuff in the grounds all throughout the entirety of the entire world.
It's
So
foothills areas and stuff. Yeah.
So no true flatlands here. Top of the hill, bottom of the hill. Do you care?
Bottom of the hill.
I'm just
Bottom of the hill.
bottom of the hill. Gotcha. Okay. You set up for the night. Any RP? Anything to talk about? Things to go over? Consider?
Yeah.
Let's have an hour-long discussion about our
Potatoes.
travel formation. Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, put them in a
Stick
stew.
it to
Man, I love potatoes. That is-
Dude, my first date with my girlfriend. This is a
Oh
great
my
story.
gosh.
No, this is a great story.
Here we go.
My first date with my girlfriend, I remember sitting in front of her and I was like, "Oh, yeah, my mom makes these really good things. Like, I don't know what they are, but you wrap them in tin foil and you put them in the oven.
Oh my gosh.
And like they come out and they're really good." And she was like, "A baked potato?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's it." But I had no clue what it was until she told me.
Another cat. Keep being
Say
blurred
one.
out.
That's a weird story, Xander.
That's even better. That's amazing. What's the cat's name? Have we learned the cat's name yet?
No, it's Mini.
That is cat.
Mini?
So it's
Mini?
basically because it's basically tiny, but in French. Because when we got her, she was
Well-
really sick. We found her like beneath one of my uncle's trailers, and like my
Ah.
parents could carry her around like in the palm of their hands like that.
God,
I
real
have
fish cake.
news for you, Felix.
She's not
Mini
tiny
is
anymore.
also small in English.
It is. Alright,
Yes, we also use that word on it.
Yeah.
Imagine, can you imagine if instead of calling it mini USB, they called it a tiny USB?
Tiny USB. Just a little one. It's just
Also,
a little USB.
where's 2008 Honda Civic?
No. Busting
I love
around.
that
Around.
name, dude. I love that name.
That's his cat. I was like, "Wait, what?"
I think it's so funny.
2008 Honda Civic and Ama.
Only Donnie too. I feel like only Donnie would come up with that name. Like I would never look at my cat and be like, "Let me burden you with this weight."
Do you have a shortened, like a nickname for the
Yes, we call them Reeby.
Reeby?
Mhm.
Cool.
Well, I would have called them bad driver. Isn't that what
Reeby.
people on the Civic?
I'm trying to find the root of the nickname Reeby.
I don't remember how it
I
started.
was like 2008 recessions where you got the re from.
A
I don't-
Ree.
I don't know where
No,
the
no,
re comes
no, no. He
from.
definitely got it from Ree. That's where he got it from. Ree. Okay.
Okay. Anyway,
Perception check from, unless you guys are talking.
yeah, I at this point I'd probably have Xander after working up some courage. He'd probably who would he pick first?
It's unfortunate the Black Star's not here because I'm pretty sure.
Well, he knows Primordial and I know Primordial, so unless he's got some other secrets up his sleeve, I think I've run him dry.
Okay.
Are you sure you want to run Black Star dry?
I'd probably go up to Razir first. Hey, Razir.
Yeah.
So like you've taught me stuff in the past before. I feel like we're on this kind of level now where we can like exchange information like that. So like
All right.
So like when I was back at home, I was really into like studying civilizations and what the past was and learning different languages. And I've kind of picked up a knack for it, and I was kind of wondering if you knew any interesting languages that maybe I don't know yet, and maybe you could teach me a couple things in case we ever needed to, maybe communicate with other people who did. It wouldn't just be on your shoulders, and I could maybe exercise some of that knowledge.
Right. Well, based on the way you ramble sometimes, I think there might be some people who say you don't know common. But let's see. I say in halfling, you know halfling?
I'll say back in halfling. I do know halfling.
So do I.
I know.
All right, so now that one. Well, the only other one I got is deep speech. Bit of a.
Whoa. What's that?
It's a bit of an unsavory language. I don't think you'll run into too many people who know it these days.
Is it like for people who have really deep voices?
Kinda.
Sounds
You,
like really guttural, like you're using a lot of throat.
yeah, it's it ain't like I said, it ain't too commonplace. So I'm not sure where it even came from, but I could probably teach you a few things here and there. You can pick up on
Gladly.
it if that's what you want to do.
Gladly, and I'll pull out my notebook and get ready to write. So the way my feature works is I'm just gonna so we do this right.
let me look for my thing really quick.
Should be able to go in feature and go in the feed stab and have it.
Yeah. So with linguist, I think it's if I spend time like speaking with someone over the course of 24 hours, like I can learn those basic phrases, like to say them without struggle, like hello, hi, goodbye, how are you, like basic stuff like that. I'd never be able to ask a very in-depth question unless I actually learned it, but like I would learn those basic things.
It's a feat that you have that gives you this ability?
Yes, linguist.
Okay, so if you're saying that over the course of the next 24 hours you're going to be spending with Razir and you guys are going to be, while you're riding...
Well, yeah, like it wouldn't be constant, but like if we have free time while we're riding or whatever, I'd be asking him questions.
Then I would say that it would probably take a total of 48 hours and not just like a solid sitting down
totally,
with a person.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's what I was more going for. Like it's kind of like how I learned Spanish. You know, like I don't spend all the time talking in it, but when I do, like it's, you know, I switch with family and friends.
Easily by the time you get to Ryver, you could have not just a basic understanding of the language, but probably be able to have
almost
very
conversation
simplistic, close. Yeah.
Sure.
Of deep speech. That's so stupid.
Sounds like a plan to me.
And here I am. The only language I know he doesn't is Gnomish.
Why wouldn't you be talking with your brother to teach you a certainly more common language of Gnomish? Why wouldn't you already know that language?
Well, look, man.
Hey.
I don't know. I didn't even know he spoke a language I didn't.
Oh. There needs to be some heart-to-heart RP with the brothers. And either tonight or the next night, it's got to happen.
What is it going to be? I'm going to speak to him in Gnomish, and he's going to speak to me in Primordial.
Yeah, in languages neither of us understand.
How do you have a brother you've been traveling with for several weeks now at this point? You grew up with, kind of, and not know that he speaks a language that you don't know.
Did it come up?
That's silly. That is silly.
It's gonna come up when we meet Jupiter Keepdown, the wrestler.
And this guy's fixated on Jupiter Keepdown. I better.
He has a wrestler name.
He does have a wrestler name.
It's a fantastic name. I don't care what you say.
For a wrestler.
I'm so sorry to cat butt. All right. No.
Okay.
She was gonna sit on the keyboard.
So that's that night, and now I know what the plan is for the next day. You do have a day of travel before you reach the bridge that takes you over to Ryver. So you wake up in the morning. I need you to make your perception check in the night. We'll just drag this on and on and on as long as we can. Did you already make it?
Me?
Yeah. You're the only one awake.
Look.
You're going to be making perception checks this whole campaign, start to finish.
That's fine.
15.
That's
okay.
My next feat is gonna be Sentinel.
Yeah.
Why?
Nobody gets away from the wizard.
It's a clear night with very few clouds. The moon shining down kind of gives you a visual of the perimeter of your surrounding areas as far as the hills and kind of landscape, even though you're kind of in a lower position. It's dry, comfortable. You're able to have your own thoughts. In the middle of the night, there is a familiar voice that comes to you as you're kind of just once throughout the night looking around. You look back. There's a bloodied corpse just sitting there, literally sitting on Xander, who's like curled up, whatever, however Xander's body's, whatever, just sitting there on Xander, kind of legs crossed, kind of arms crossed as well, looking over at you.
That's a weird spot to sit.
Yeah, well, I'm a little frustrated.
About that old guy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, I'm sure you don't.
There was a...
So, how come you couldn't answer me?
I mean,
PM said so.
I did answer you.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear it. Didn't come through clear.
Maybe get your ears checked.
Right, I'm sure it's my fault. Anyways, I got some info on where he's at, possibly.
I had asked you a question back when you couldn't hear me, and there was no response, and I wasn't too keen on not getting a response.
Ask again.
Who were you talking to?
Man said his name was, or we should call him at least JJ.
I didn't see any man.
All right. Well, he would had some kind of illusion on him.
Something going on with you? Seeing things that aren't there?
I just look at him. I mean, yeah, kind of been the norm the whole time.
Well, there's a certain kind of arrangement we have, which is pre-established. This is kind of outside of the norm, wouldn't you say?
Look, it ain't nothing of my doing. Everybody else saw him too.
That Black Star, he didn't give you any drugs or anything? Messing with your mind?
Not that I know of. The only messing he does, it seems, is talking to his own sword.
Yeah, don't get me started on the sword.
You got a problem with his sword? Is that because he's got some kind of similar deal?
He's just, I don't know, sounds old and mean and doesn't seem to like us too much. Or me.
Fair enough.
Anybody who doesn't like me can go pound sand as far as I'm concerned.
Point me towards the nearest beach. I'm sure we'll be in the Caldera at some point then.
Always talking about burning things. Go burn some sand, blow some glass, make us some money. Further our efforts. Talking about burning things. Have a mind to slap him upside the sword's head.
Bill?
Anyways, so here's the thing.
All right.
Here's the thing. Anybody who stops this that we got going on, that's bad. That's bad. That's a level I haven't heard or seen of in a long time. Let's just say that. That's counterintuitive to what our eventual goal and plan is, what my eventual goal and plan is. Even after we're done with this initial trouble, we'll get to the fact that you have some locations. I'm able to see those things. You know that. But...
Yep.
What?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, anyways... something disconcerting about that. We'll have to... Did he say where he was going?
No, I don't think he did.
I'm like... I want to know what's going through Razir's head right now. So bad. The fact that he's talking to him and this is happening, and he's asking Razir questions about things he doesn't know about.
Question. When these things happen, like obviously my character doesn't know, but like, do Razir's eyes glaze over, or is this like a don't even notice? Like this is just kind of hanging out.
I don't think there's anything fancy that goes on. Just I can see him, nobody else can.
And I'm guessing you're talking telepathically, so.
Not this time. Unless I say so specifically. This is out loud.
He's talking out loud. Yeah, that's what I was assuming in this particular instance.
Yeah.
Everybody's sleeping right now.
Yeah, everybody's asleep,
okay.
so I'm just talking
All right.
quietly enough to not wake anybody.
I wasn't sure when this was happening, so I was like, where he's sitting on me. I was like, I'm awake. Like, okay.
No, this is during
Understood.
the night. Yeah.
Understood. Okay. Gotcha.
It seems like the two locations that were provided, one of which I wouldn't put too much stock into, that being the ruins of Aeon. Now I don't know what he was. Now the only reason, well, we don't need to get into the specifics of why I have that information.
That's also a much harder spot to get to. I figured we'd check this other one off the list first before trying to venture all the way out there.
Right. Once we get a little bit closer, just
not a
reach
place
out.
I'd like to go back to, if possible.
Yeah. Well, one day. One day. Once we get a bit closer, if I don't reach out to you, just don't forget to reach out to me. I might have a few more insights once we get a little bit closer to this Mount Solitude, as it were.
All right.
Give you a bit of a kind of poke and prod into what's going on in the surrounding area, as I have in the past. Kind of give you a bit of guidance. But I'll tell you what, if that happens again, I suppose there's nothing you can do about it, but if you sense something like that happening again, I would just say you get as far away from that as you can, because in the proximity of whoever this individual was, there was nothing I could do. Which,
right.
On that
I understand
note,
that.
Probably should have said something about the fact that your detect magic would have been intermittently functioning during that process. That definitely would have been a pretty big deal that would have been happening in that instance.
I mean, I'm pretty sure in the Warlock class, it actually says, like, even if you were to lose your, like, technically your rules as written, lose your, like, patron, you'd still still have your powers. But then again, you can do it Ford in, like, Critical Role lost his, like, when he got ties with his patron, he lost his powers, stuff like that.
Right. So. Yeah, this is more situational, and I'm not gonna I'm not the person who was gonna do something stupid and be like, oh, you've lost all your powers doing a really crucial or boss battle. Sorry, like I'm not the person who's gonna do that. Like
you're not
in an RP situational like thing like that, for that instance. Yeah. Anyways, you would have noticed that there would have been a little bit of flickering.
Okay. Look, I know we got our deal here, but you know what I'm after, and I know what you're after, and if I find other means to make that happen, I'm not going to turn them away just because it makes you unhappy. Within reason.
You and I have an understanding.
And I intend to uphold my end of that bargain, but if I can find some useful things that rustle your feathers, but nothing else, I don't think I'm going to turn my gaze away from them. Just letting you know.
I understand,
but
I just don't like it, and I don't think you're going to like it either if it ends up being something longer term than what we've experienced today.
Yeah, maybe, but all these years I haven't ran into nothing like that before, so I doubt that's going to be a common occurrence.
Yeah, it's true. That's going to be a 1 in a million or so time that's going to happen. So,
right.
Wish I knew who it was. God, wish I knew who it was.
A little bit of green I saw through the illusion, but that's all I got.
Not enough to go on, unfortunately. Anyways, keep track of them. There's trouble ahead. Lots of trouble.
Oh, is there? Well, wonderful.
Trouble after trouble after trouble. You get a rest.
Ain't
Couple
that the way
days.
of the world?
It is. It's the way I like it,
Right.
personally.
Of course it is.
Get some rest.
Yeah.
I think it's super funny that like this is the 5th time you guys have had a conversation together or something like that. And I still have no clue what's going on. But last session when I talked to Black Star, he was like, "Yeah, here's my whole backstory really quick." Like I
Completely different vibe.
Yeah.
Many ways to do a warlock.
Yep, it's true. It also helps that Eric and I have known each other for however many years and can talk to each other in complete and total code without anybody knowing what we're talking about at all.
A little bit of that.
Anyways, the rest of the evening goes by unhindered, no issues. You wake up for the next day of travel.
In the morning, I want to play my harmonica. That's it.
Okay.
I'll play a bit.
Anything
Whoop.
specific, or you're just playing?
Just felt like playing in that morning.
Okay.
Good morning. That's it.
Anybody else?
what were the 2 locations that were mentioned yesterday?
For
For Razir and Thrall.
Mount Solitude and the ruins of Aeon.
Aeon.
And he did also mention even grass for Thrall, as well as the huge library in Alesnarian.
And the ruin.
Yeah, the more
Yeah.
I think about the names of the towns that I came up with, I just love naming things. I really do. I
thought you were gonna say.
I think even grass is just such a. I know it's kind of like dumb, but also I don't know. I love it. so
Even
much.
Grass gives me off
think-
similar vibes as Stalingrad for some reason. Even Grass, Stalingrad. Just the flow of the name.
In the morning,
Uh-huh.
I'm probably gonna look at the map just to look at those places and path out like where we're going, and then just, hey guys,
Yeah.
one of the places that guy mentioned yesterday, the ruins of Aeon, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Where is that?
That'd be in Anchor's Folly.
And where's that?
No idea. That's over the
Well,
mountains, man. None of us.
It's
know.
other side of Epoch's chain past the Turnback Towers.
That's a far way away.
It's not that
Yeah.
far.
That person must have been really strong.
I mean, yeah, we're not that far. Just
You could literally
Over
not go to
here.
Ryver and go to the Turnback Towers and beyond right now if you wanted to.
I mean,
TPK.
Rel kind of
Be heading for a TPK.
because that's like towards the direction of her end goal. But she's also weary about going in that direction and doesn't know if it's the right time to.
It certainly is not. don't
I
know.
mean, Thrall was also told Ilisnarian, so that's
Yeah, I could probably start there first, but I'd
Oh, yeah.
have to sneak in some secret underground libraries.
just remember what you said earlier, Razir. You, Trell, and I'm guessing Duke, before you guys met up with me and Zender, you
Yeah.
saved someone on the console of Alesnarian.
Yeah, we were all.
He does.
I think we had mentioned that we were caught by the chainless just before heading to Beacon. He was there with us.
Sagar.
Igar Red Chain owes me
Red
a
Chain.
favor.
Yep.
And because when I asked JJ if the book that Xander has was from Isles Narian, he said it very well might be. Does that mean the like artifacts we're carrying around right now might belong to Isles Narian?
Which artifacts? Oh, you mean the ones
The
from the
scepter,
right?
Krell's ring, your
Oh, the
orb,
stuff that we found in the box.
Duke's necklace. He's alone right
I ain't sure, but it's a possibility that I mean the chainless had them in that box, whether they were with Raga or not. Not sure. Couldn't say.
What
Alright.
salvage law? All right, it's ours now.
All right.
Okay.
That's it.
Alrighty.
Speaking of that, hey Freckles, we ever gonna need to check in with your folks, your people? Because I know you had said you were out on a journey and whatnot, but is there any time you got to check back in with them?
Not really. I mean, it'd be nice to see them, but they're just working up north, so
All right.
I'd have to hang on. And she goes into her pack and she starts like rummaging through some papers. Like, hang on, I got the schedule for a bit. I think I might know where they are. And she just keeps looking. Like, I don't know. I don't know. What the heck's today? God, I don't even know what date it is. I'll figure it out later.
Are
You,
you-
said
do you-
north though.
Do you want me to tell you where they would be right now?
Sure, why not?
Only because you and I haven't done your backstory thing yet, which I'm assuming isn't going to be super productive when it is that we do meet up and talk about it. However,
Not complicated.
it's not, but anyways, at this point they would be in the woods southeast of Orniron V.
Yeah, Orion 6.
No, Orniron V.
All right. Where are they heading towards? Redwall or?
No, they're currently headed towards Orniron V.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like so. All right, they're. I mean, it says they gotta be up by a city by whatever date. That's close.
If
I
everything
don't know.
goes according to plan, that's where they'd be
Yeah,
right.
I mean, yeah, it's give pretty good schedules. So they're probably around there somewhere.
All right. Well, if we ever head up north, I guess we'll keep that in mind. Stop by there. Duke, he made his way back home. What about you boys? Any, I know you were on this is revisiting a bit of our past, I guess, but, y'all were on a bit of a journey, and, any direction you need to head in accordance with that, or we just gonna see where the road takes us?
Well, as of right now, not really. Kind of waiting on a sign, but as of now, no. I don't
Oh,
think
there's
so.
a sign, Ryver.
Not like that. You know what I mean.
No, but yeah, I was gonna say, right now we don't have anywhere to go. We just went out to not to say find ourselves, but like explore the world.
Fair enough. I guess I'm bringing all this up because I'm starting to just ponder of where we're gonna go. We hopped in on the whole Raiders of Beacon thing because it was a nice little opportunity to deal with our current problems at the time. But now that we're free of that,
I mean,
I think the road's open to us as far as what we want to pursue and go after. We got a
Black
bit
Star
of
did tell us about some trouble in Ryver. Maybe we could help with that, or we could just make a short stop at Ryver, go straight to Mount Solitude, like, or
Yeah,
we
I-
could go to the caldera and find the channel slab. There's also the there's also one on the Isles.
Right. So we got a lot of options on what we might or might not want to pursue, and I guess I'm just kind of asking, based on everybody's goals and
Yeah,
motivations,
and I
what do
mean,
we want to do?
we should keep in mind right now, Zellander should be making his way back to Alasnarian, and he said he was going to contact us when he needs us for the second job.
Right. Got that on the table. But
Is Threll and
so
the
what do y'all
boys?
think? You want to?
Is Threll and the boys? Are we trying to be heroes right now? Like,
Well, I don't know about
are we trying
heroes,
to save
but
the planet and like rush to
ooh,
aid of
Trying to
those?
survive to maybe later down the line save the planet. We'll see.
that's a big jump there. But
Yeah,
that's kind of also what I'm getting at. Is like, what do we intend on doing?
like is Ryver's problem our problem?
Well, I mean, I guess it's
Well-
kind of a question of like, do we intend on being together for a while? Like,
I mean, well,
do
no,
you
That is
do you
what-
have to get back
Brazier-
to the caravan?
me and Razier have to. So we gotta go east. Well, no one's ever done that in memory in any story that I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Zender, we did leave home to explore the world. What's better than exploring the unknown?
Well, I
Part of the
agree
world
with you,
disease.
but I think if I died, I'd get brought back to life and then killed again. That's
Right.
I don't think Mom would look very fondly upon me dying for me being her son, but also the successor to the title.
Yeah, but I mean, dying is always a possibility. Even here, right now, we almost died a few times already.
Yeah, but these are all like we know this, you know? Like I mean I've read almost everything in the Next Ronin library, and all the stories of people going beyond the mountains are just that, stories. Nobody knows what's beyond it. And every part of me wants to go beyond that and be something other than the Oracle. I want to be myself and be something that, people can see me other than that. But doing that means going where nobody's gone before, and that's terrifying.
And scared you should be. Ain't nothing pleasant out past them towers.
Have you been?
They're called the Turnback Towers for a reason. Yeah, one time.
What was
It
that
is
like?
unpleasant to put it lightly.
How far'd you make it?
Far enough. The out there makes what we got going on around here seem benign. It is safe to wander these woods around here in comparison to what's in there.
Did you
So
did you
if
find
we
any
intend
towns
on
over
going
there?
out there,
Are there people there?
nah, nothing I found. Ain't much. Ain't much lives out there.
So that would mean the city JJ mentioned, even grass. It's a ghost city, basically.
Never heard of it. So I'm not sure where it is.
I don't know.
Then
That,
again, he did say they have a lot of information on flying ships, so it might be like a flying city.
that guy seemed like he
City
had a
that
lot of
flies.
knowledge. I want to meet them again and I don't know, maybe get their number or something.
Number of what?
I just I need to I need to get I need to learn a spell from them so I can always keep in contact with them. It's called message. I haven't learned it yet.
No,
Sending.
messages
Oh,
there's 120 feet range.
Sending.
Sending.
I'm
There's
sorry.
sending.
Sending.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, there is a magic shop in Ryver that we can stop by, see if they've got anything, any kind of books or something.
I will gladly.
Show you the
gladly
spot.
go. I mean,
But yeah,
that's
that fellow was interested, to say the least.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
And I didn't say nothing yet, but I'm not sure that's what he looks like all the time. That may or may not have been a
hey, I don't
illusion
really.
or something.
I don't care what you look like when you give me 100 platinum.
That was a lot.
It was a lot. I didn't think the story was that great.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I
Keep
don't
an
even
eye
know
on
what
that,
was in the original sack. That was huge. I mean, it almost broke the horse's legs. It was
Yeah.
massive.
But I mean, did you see its arm? Like when it
It
gets
was weird, right?
like, and afterwards when I gave
Yeah.
him the berry, like the arm didn't actually like.
Touch.
Yeah, like what's the deal with that? Like,
Look,
do you guys like? You said it was illusion magic around it, so it's
Something.
we know it didn't actually look like that.
I mean, they seem
I didn't
nice
get-
enough.
I look through nothing, but all I can say is I ain't run into nothing like that in all my years, and I'm okay with that. That was an odd interaction.
Like a nice guy.
Man, ever since I ran into y'all, it's been nothing but new weird stuff. Something about being in this group is drawing out the strange.
You're
I mean-
most welcome.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm sure that's us. I'm sure that's us who's causing that. I don't know, man. Have you looked in the mirror?
As infrequently as I can.
I mean, Xander, for a moment back when we were in Beacon, you were a giant furry monster.
And I looked
A
in the
translucent, a giant
And I-
furry
I-
translucent
translucent,
yeah.
monster.
mirror. I looked in the mirror and freaked out but like this stuff does have a habit now of following us around. It's almost like there's somebody making interesting things happen around us.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Becoming self-aware.
What kind of is it? That's like the. I've seen a couple walls before, and this is looking like some kind of fourth wall
Wow.
breaking down.
I was gonna say it's just like the shim in the Elder Scrolls.
No, So, I mean, if we were to go past the towers right now,
We'd have a bad time. We are not nearly equipped enough to go. Last time I was out there, I had a bit of a guide, so I could avoid most things. But I think we need to.
your guide had
Toughen
been
up a
there
bit.
before?
They knew how to avoid danger, at least.
When was this?
Long time ago.
And Thrall, do you have to be back with your trade family anytime soon?
Nah, I'm technically on a sabbatical. I guess it more likely you'd call it an extended assignment. I'm still getting paid.
Are you in a union?
Yeah, absolutely. You have a union. You have the local caravanners union.
It's just the caravan.
It's literally just a yeah.
Wow.
There's only the one. Oh, there's multiple.
Yeah.
Right? There's multiple caravans. We have a workers union.
That's great. I mean, I think it's important for workers to fight for their rights.
Does anybody want to
Literally.
continue with the adventure right now, or
What do you think we're doing?
We're having
sitting
a
here.
great conversation. All right, you leave
Talking
us
about-
alone. We're
Is it all-
riding
is
a
it all
horse. We're
walking
continuing the
talk?
adventure.
oh, so you are moving on to the next day then?
Yeah.
But I mean,
so-
shouldn't you
but-
guys be having this conversation in deep speech right now?
But if we don't, like, if you don't have to leave, and we're not going past the towers anytime soon, then I mean, for the foreseeable future, if we're gonna be together, then we can just take each day as it comes. And if Ryver gives us something to do, then we'll do something there. And if we end up over in Sayor for whatever reason, then we could do stuff over there. But wherever it takes us, I mean, as long as we don't have any other pressing matters, then just go where the wind takes us for now, and until I get a call back from home and like I get a sign that I need to go do something else, then this is where I'm at with you guys. And I like traveling with you. It's weird, but it's fun. And
Yeah, it ain't too bad. All right, so we get to town, we see what the local news is, and then we just pick and choose what we want to do. Free agents.
I mean, I
Yes.
believe you, Xander, you do need some downtime to like scribe the scrolls we found, right?
yeah.
And I mean, we like in the hole right now. We have a few things we could sell, unless you guys want to keep them. I mean, we have all those adamantine weapons. We have we kept the chest from Vudas's office. We have a gold statue. But I do have to say, we're keeping the bearskin rug.
Oh yeah.
That's the most
Obviously.
important part. Yeah.
We got to keep that hole comfortable. Right, so
We're gonna need a
we got
couch down there.
Yeah. A portable hangout room.
Throw people in there. Be like, all right, you got a minute. Close it up.
Well, it's
Right,
10,
so we got a bit of
Could we
funds
sleep
on
in the
hand.
hole?
It's 10 minutes.
10 minutes of air for one person.
Oh. Well,
If it gets closed up.
If it
Yeah.
if it gets closed up, yeah.
Well, we need to
isn't that
start
like-
doing, once we get the hole fixed up, we need to start opening up the hole and then putting the tiny
I was
hut
gonna
on
say,
top
yeah.
of the hole. Then we have a much bigger area.
But wouldn't
Or we could put
wouldn't
it in the
just
hole.
be at the bottom of the hole?
Technically, if you cast it at the lip, because it has a 10-foot radius, the hole is 10 feet wide.
So
Right?
it would just
it'll
fit
encompass
perfectly.
it. It'll encompass, or it'll take up half of the hut. So then you'll be in a comfortable, different dimension inside the hole with the dome on top. That's ridiculous.
I mean,
Although
what we could
it's only
do
10
is-
feet wide on the side inside, so
Yeah, and the hole is 10 feet. 5 feet radius, so 10 feet diameter. I mean, we
There's-
could. It's would actually take closer to a fort. I believe. I believe with the hut. But yeah, we could like he uses tiny hut, then I set up the hole, so we have the hole with the bearskin rug at the bottom.
Man, we're just coming up with accommodations for ourselves.
yep. On your horse riding journey that hasn't progressed any further.
What do you mean? Hasn't progressed.
Well, do you guys want to progress to the next
We
day?
go to the next
All
day.
this conversation? Okay.
I
And
think
I
we're good.
guess
Go.
that's our
Look,
third day
unions
of
are
travel,
important.
right?
All right.
Okay. West or south? Or
South.
southwest, rather.
Southwest.
Over here,
Okay.
right?
Southeast.
And then west.
Into the lake.
I was gonna say we could
Well,
go
there's
west.
Beach
back.
episode.
Now there's a bit of
Just
land
so.
there. It's that way
Yeah.
on purpose, so you can
Where are you going?
navigate
With
around
that
there.
being the third day, could I change my subclass? Stormkeeper.
You were going to be doing that over the course of 2 days with.
Because we started up
Something?
here. So
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right.
I'm not concerned about the amount of days, but you were doing it in a particular way, right? With
Yeah,
some.
Well, trying to communicate with nature as much as I can.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You definitely would have had the opportunity to do that over this journey for sure.
Right.
You haven't had any major encounters or battles or anything that would impede anything. So
You just said it, guys. JJ isn't major. You
Well-
just said we didn't have a major encounter.
major battle encounter that would cause you to need to rest and not spend time focusing on nature. So hey, you can interpret anything as whatever the heck you want.
What do you mean?
You'll
Placing words in
find
the
out.
DM's
You'll
mouth?
find out when we get there. Okay, 2d10. Somebody.
I already did today.
I already did.
I'll do it. 13.
Nice.
Oh. Interesting.
Kraken comes out of the lake.
That
Okay.
means you've changed subclass at this point.
Yeah. So now I
Hey,
have web.
Hey, Lou, where's your little animal friend? I ain't seen him around.
Well, I mean, apart from Bird, the last few days, I felt like having this. No offense to you, Gabe. Real fun. Having a big bear coming around with us, especially when we're going into town, might not be the best idea. So I kind of say I have this connection with nature. So instead of manifesting through the big bear, the bird, or never actually did it. I'm pretty sure I could do it like a fish or a something like that. I decided to instead make it with small animal, just I guess I'll use my mage hand, which is just a few birds that come around. I guess I'll take a berry out and you just pick it up and bring it over to Razir. Yeah, just
All right, something a little more discreet. Switching it up a bit. All right.
As you are having this conversation, you happen to notice everybody at this point. You look behind you, and there is a troop of things that are following you.
Is it the circus?
It's not the circus. There are 2 squirrels, a rabbit, a fox, and a crow. Funny enough, that are following. The crow is perched on top of the fox as the fox is running, and they're keeping about a 50-foot distance from you. And I mean, thus far you haven't. This is supposed to be a dangerous land, and Razir, you're used to there being super dangerous things out here. Thus far, you haven't encountered anything really dangerous, and also never encountered wildlife just out and about. That has been a thing that has been said and talked about and known, that wildlife keeps away from people, keeps away from everything. They have been trained or know to be silent and discreet, and so as not to be eaten, for the most part. Kind of like at a heightened level of awareness and scarcity. There's a handful of creatures, and off on not in the horizon, but off in the underbrush of the various hills that are around this space, there's a little mouse. It's kind of scampering down the hill, getting to the group, and just kind of gets to the group and looks at the squirrel, and then looks up at you guys and just sits there and looks at you guys. There's a couple woodland creatures currently. You're out in you have the lake kind of off in the distance to your left-hand side. You can see that there's probably the bridge that you're going to be approaching and getting to in the following day, knowing where you are, Razir, but you've never encountered woodland creatures that are just hanging out watching you guys. Except for the crows.
This ain't normal. Hey y'all, critters don't come around. Everybody on alert here.
So Thrall's gonna look down at the thing to see the squirrels. And stuff, be like, "What the hell is that?"
Oh, come on. Throw would know what a squirrel is at this point. Seriously.
Those squirrels
Squirrels
in the Arctic.
Yeah, they are.
Shut up.
I'm sorry, but
I'll do the
Alistair, mixed ruinem is not the Arctic.
Man, it's the closest thing you're going to get on this
It's
side
yeah,
of
but-
things.
cold.
If you were to be in the Arctic, there wouldn't be any trees. There'd be small shrubbery this tall, but that's it.
I will say, Gade begins to salivate. For sure.
I'll just
Um,
pull on his reins no, don't do that.
Hey, Lou, you want to work a little bit of your magic, see what's going on?
I mean, I can speak to them if they're up close. Well, I guess I could yell at them, but I don't feel like that's
Be a little
the
rude.
best idea.
Hey!
Hey, squirrel!
What's your name?
Bruh.
Tony.
Detect magic.
What's the range on detect magic? 30 feet, I believe.
30 feet.
Uh-huh.
What was it?
I'm 99%
There it
certain
is.
it's 30 feet.
Yeah, 30. Yeah.
Does it become 60 with spell sniper?
Nope.
But
No, it
no,
doesn't.
not with spell sniper.
Uh,
With a distance spell, I could. But yeah,
Um,
spell sniper is only with attack rolls.
Do
Alright.
you get closer to them?
No,
So there's
absolutely
nothing,
not.
nothing that you
Just
see
Stand here and stare
Nothing.
at him.
illusory or otherwise.
menacingly.
Menacing.
They're just hanging out. I mean, they're kind of chittering. They're not like sentient, but that's not the right word. They're not to the point where they're like talking to each other, but they're just normal animals that are kind of chittering. And one of the squirrels eventually kind of goes off, and you guys are traveling, so they're kind of keeping their distance about 50 to 60 feet behind you. One of the squirrels goes off and like forages for a few moments. Kind of, you just kind of pay attention to look what they're doing. Digs a little hole, finds a little bit, brings something back to the group, and they're all kind of like eating as they're going. And more animals are joining them. There's a badger that kind of comes up, and then a deer, and then just randomly out of nowhere, just over the hills, kind of coming. Now you've got by the close to the end of the day, there's close to 20 or 30 of these creatures that are just of all different creature types, and they're just hanging out, and they're watching. They're just watching. They're not doing anything, interacting with you. They're just looking at you, not at you, but at the group.
I ain't never seen nothing like this. I know we just talked about odd things happening, and here's another one.
The weirdest thing ever. Like, what? I have never seen animals behave this way.
I mean, really,
Dan, did you ever
weirdest
read
thing
anything
ever.
about this?
I mean, just
Xan-
when we're
Xander's not here right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm so tired.
No.
Come on.
I'm sorry. What did I hear about?
You heard about you
We-
being on your phone, and
I'm not on my phone.
No, he's asleep.
He's
falling
falling
asleep.
No, I'm not on my phone. I'm falling asleep.
Oh wow.
Man, you got Alex watching movies, Jason falling asleep.
There is a gaggle of woodland creatures
Yes, I caught that.
grouping up and following us. Right, so asked if basically like, hey, anybody ever hear of anything like this? This is weird. Xander, did you ever read anything like this?
Have I ever read about this happening?
This is going to be rather obscure. Go ahead and make a history check for me.
Oh, that's arguably the worst I could have gotten.
It was
13.
almost a nat 20 that I saw on that dice.
To
Yeah.
probe my mind of being a wilderness.
Sure. If
Jason.
you want to make one as well, go ahead.
Jason, use a chronal shift.
Oh, I could, couldn't I?
Slightly better.
15.
Yeah, I'll do it. Why not? I'm not
This-
using anything else.
Okay.
That's better. 26.
That's double.
26.
That's
Wow.
double.
Thrall, this escapes you, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Um,
this is weird.
Xander. You recall there being some kind of maybe druidic or otherwise effect placed on individuals of a kind heart or of a significance in a positive manner in the world with positive energies. Somebody in a group of individuals or one individual that exuded some kind of positive force on the world received a blessing out in the woods, essentially. And some force of nature, it's said, according to the history books, that Halduar bestowed their blessing on individuals who were pure of heart. And it was said that woodland creatures were attracted to that individual and helped them for the day as they traveled through the space that these woodland creatures lived, and provided them with or if the individual is pure of heart and offered some type of gift to the woodland creatures, that they would then provide them with a bonus or a benefit.
Oh yeah, I heard this story, about was this a god? I'm sorry, let me check on my notes.
Halduar is
Halduar.
the deity of nature.
Okay, yeah.
It's
So
also the deity
The one I
that,
worship.
that Louise worships.
I've read this story about the god Halduar, and he like gives a blessing of woodland creatures to the good-hearted individuals in that area. I guess they're following you around, Louise.
I was gonna say they're following Gade.
Oh, I think if it was Gage's choice, those creatures would scatter to try and stay alive.
I mean, is it really evil to be part of the circle of life?
No, but I think the point of this is that like you received a blessing, and if you want like more, you can give them a gift, like a berry. I don't know. What's a good gift you give to a woodland creature?
Probably food.
Yeah, it's
Probably
food.
Food, right?
I mean,
a bear
Food
skin
that
rug,
keeps them filled for the day. Nope,
yeah,
definitely not
I
that.
have this pouch right here with
a golden statue.
pouch right here with 60 good berries.
You're a squirrel having a giant golden statue.
You know what?
60,
I used to have this,
a golden
I used to have
statue.
This bear friend I could probably ask when you get that sentence.
Oh my gosh, Donnie.
Wait, if we were to cast, could we cast resurrection on the bearskin rug?
It'd have
Yeah.
to be like true resurrection or something.
Yeah. Like the well,
One of the
depends on
hi-
how
the-
long it's been dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there is
That or
if the soul
speak
is
with
willing.
dead. We have a scroll of speak with dead.
Yes, we do. Talk with the bear.
Talk with the bear.
Wait,
You would have
Cast
to
speak
also
with
do-
animals.
Speak with
and
animals
then-
with it.
I
Speak
need to
with
check
dead.
this.
I don't know if you can do that. What would be
Also,
the point of talking with the bear?
All of that work and effort just to find out that the bear was synthetic and fake.
Oh man.
That's impossible. There's no plastic in this universe. Got him.
In the
Okay.
Semblance of
universe?
life and intentions
Plastic
to a corpse
is-
of your choice within range, allowing it to answer questions you pose. The corpse must still have a mouth and can't be undead. The spell fails if the corpse is the target of the spells. Wait. The corpse. The spell fails if the corpse was the target of the spells within the last 10 days. Till the spells end, you can ask 5 questions. Yeah, and then it's the information about what can talk to
Does
it
it say
about.
what language they can speak? Because if it only speaks bear, then
It says it grants them a semblance of life and intelligence. So would that mean the
talking to a
parents?
bear.
This is
But
really,
then
like,
again, if it only speaks bear, I have to speak with animal.
Yeah.
Wow. That's craziness. Yeah.
We're gonna talk to a rug.
why? Okay, that's
We're gonna talk to a rug.
what are you gonna learn?
That's amazing.
Rug
Oh
stuff.
my god.
I mean, who knows? Okay,
Here's
so
really
the
important.
your guys are traveling on. The woodland creatures are there behind you and following you.
How many of them were there total?
5, I think.
25.
No,
Oh yes, I
General
I
at
was
this
counting
point.
the species.
All right, yeah. I'll stop. So the horse, get off, take the pouch, pick a handful of berries, and just make them a little pile and keep going. Place a little ball. I'll remove half of what I have.
How many?
Right
So how many?
now. So I said half, so that would be 30.
30. Okay. All All right. As you're traveling along, all the animals kind of converge on this one spot, and it seems like there's one particular squirrel, which is odd, right? Showing more than normal, walks up to the berries and spreads them apart with its paws and like evenly divides them, and then all the animals kind of line up and
They're in a commune.
hands out the berries to all the various individual animals that are there.
Animal commune. Animal
They
farm.
end up lagging behind because they're distributing the food. Everybody eats to their content. A small little sack made of leaves is constructed with the remainder that isn't fed to the rest of.
That is so cute.
Definitely stopping and watching this happen. Not
Yeah.
gonna go off. Oh, look, they're doing a soup kitchen. Let's watch.
And like a little backpack is formed, and the squirrel in question kind of like puts it on, and then continues walking with you guys. And yes, this is actually happening.
Wait, what was the food this morning,
This
guys?
is happening right now. Yep.
What kind of berries did you pick this morning, Lily?
Yeah.
I was gonna say the usual,
Nah.
but maybe not.
I mean, I didn't need any of that, so this is happening. It ain't no berry.
'Cause I was gonna say, like, since we got back from the Rising Requiem, my berries have been a little more potent. Maybe that's a side effect.
Well, Burgundy and maroon are both reds, but are very similar colors, but are not the same. Maybe you just picked the wrong berry.
Yeah, that might be it. Well, no, Reserve just said he hasn't eaten any, and he's still like.
This is happening.
What if Black Star pulled a prank on you and made you eat some in your sleep or something?
He doesn't sleep.
No,
Oh yeah,
that
that's
ain't
right.
it.
I can only imagine what Black Star would be saying about all this garbage right now. All of it.
Uh-huh.
This whole journey has just been one drug trip. Is all it is. Yeah. So, the animals continue to follow you. They've lagged behind now. They're trying to catch up with the gait of the horses, but they're not able to. But they're off in the distance, and you reach the end of your travels for the day. The bridge is probably a third of it, not even a quarter of a day's travel. 2 hours, we'll say, from where you are now. Kind of make it out on the horizon from where you are at this point. Bedding down for the evening, whether you're using the hole or Liam's tiny hut, the animals are gathered around watching because they catch up with you as you're trying to find your spot, and they're just kind of like gather around. They're staying around 60 feet away, and there's you see the squirrel takes the pack off its shoulders and sets it down on the ground, and then pulls out berry after berry after berry after berry, and there's way more than what was left over from what Louise had left on the ground, and feeds all of the remainder of them. There's now about 40 animals that are just hanging out on the outskirts of all different. I'm not gonna, there's a skunk, and we're not gonna go through the whole, thing. But there's a ton of different kinds of animals. Some of them there's 2, 3, whatever. There's a variety of birds that are there as well. And they're just having a grand old time and not disturbing you at all. Just kind of watching, kind of sitting. They don't make their own fire or anything. They just they just sit there. They eat their berries, and then the one squirrel. They all have an understanding, and this one squirrel kind of has like this leadership type role, even though there's no visible conversation. They're just kind of chittering around and making squawking and whatever squeaking noises that they make, and puts the backpack back on and leans back against it and kind of settles in for the evening, eyes closed.
I don't know about you guys, but I kind of feel bad about eating like meat right now.
That's reasonable.
So berries for supper?
Gade specifically by the end of the day is like just a faucet
Oh
out
my
of
goodness.
each side of the cheeks, just and like goes up to Thrall. I don't care where it doesn't care where Thrall is. Goes up to Thrall and just like rubs one cheek up the side of Thrall's face and just up the side of with the saliva, and it's just like.
I'm holding on to his reins extra tight because I know he wants to go ham, and I'm like, no,
Get in the hole.
No, you can't eat these ones. They might be sentient. Yeah, well, no, stop it.
Do you give him anything or?
Yeah, I'll reach into the pack and give him some of the some jerky, and I'll put a good berry on it.
Okay, like within half a second, is eats it up and it's gone. And Gade like sits down and has this like constant for the past 12 hours this eye twitch on Gade. It's just like looking, like constantly looks at you, looks back at the woodland creatures, and then shudders, and then looks back at you, and then kind of lays down on the ground, and you just see this like shiver all the way from the back, all the way, or from the front all the way to the back to the tail, and the tail just like this, and then on the ground. And it's just like not. You mean Gade? Gade would be all about eating all of them right now, all of them.
Like his thing.
Yeah. So, but you said no. So, all right. So, typical setup. End of the day, Razir. Right? Is anybody doing anything RP wise? Talking, conversation? I mean, there's probably some conversation. We don't necessarily need to RP it if it's not like pertinent to what's going on. Like people are talking about, the animals that are just chilling with you guys now.
I would. Yeah. I'm so tired, but I have stuff I do want to talk about. I'll do it next session. I'm just so tired right now. The coherent thoughts are not coherent.
Okay.
Not even making it to the town.
No, we'll make it.
All right.
Not tonight.
I mean, unless we stop now. Come back next week and Alex will be like, how did you guys not make it 4 squares?
I know. I know. Honestly, this session has been awesome. I've thoroughly enjoyed every bit of this.
Fun.
I mean, weren't we going
something-
at about this speed when we're going to the
Rising Requiem.
We moved
Rising
a
Requiem,
bit faster.
Well, we're rolling for squares because why not? I mean, there's cool things that are happening.
Nobody's complaining.
Yeah.
Nobody's complaining.
But
And also, there
what?
hasn't been
I
any
just-
combat this whole time. So it's not just combat encounters that are happening.
I was gonna say we did have 2 fights on our way to the Rising Requiem. So yeah.
Yeah, and we're about to cross a very busy bridge where we'll probably get to a giant fight.
Some jerk is trying to collect some tax on the bridge.
I hate
and we're gonna be like,
taxes.
what the heck?
I hate
No.
them.
Taxation is theft.
Taxation is theft. 100%.
I'm sure that squirrel doesn't do taxes.
Xander is a socialist.
Be more like the squirrel.
Xander's is a socialist bordering on Marxist.
So I'm going to ask for a perception check from Razir for the evening.
Ooh, that's a good 24.
Oh.
4. Oh, it's so close. Okay. So
There's something.
You wake up, Gate is dead, the squirrel's standing on its corpse.
Oh no.
Amidst the night, again past the 4-hour mark of the rest that you take, it's dark outside. I don't know if you guys have a fire or not, but it's dark, and I know you have 120 feet of your silly vision and all that. But like looking out at
150.
150.
100, your stupid vision. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay,
Tim,
so
do you want to know what is dumber? Twilight Teleri.
Okay,
300.
that's so dumb.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay,
That's
there's certain-
And you get to share that with your friends.
I want to have a conversation after tonight, after Jason hops off, because we're gonna lose Jason like real soon here. I have 23 minutes, so whatever. But anyways, about how to deal with Razir and everybody's range. It's not like GM versus players deal with, but like how to. Anyways, we'll talk about it. I've been thinking about it for like a week or two now about like what the heck I'm supposed to do. Anyways, so looking out 150 feet out past you're past the woodland creatures now, like out into the surrounding territory. It's actually gotten more flat towards the bridge at the point that you're at now, so it's less hilly, so you're able to see further. You can actually see kind of the moon reflecting like way off in the distance off the main lake, which is called the Gambler's Basin. You're familiar with that. You can see that reflection. From the direction where you guys were traveling, you do pick out a tiny person that is making its way and like sneaking up towards the animals that are on the outskirts of your camp about 60 feet out. So what you see is a stone with arms and legs, and it moves forward like moves forward and like lays down, and it looks like a stone on the ground, 100% stone. And then like you see this tiny little head of something just kind of like peek up and look in your direction, and then moves forward like up towards the creatures, and then grabs onto like a rabbit, and you hear the rabbit like and then it just like kind of skitters away and like moves like 40
The
50
ghost
feet.
crab.
Are you shooting it, this thing?
It went up and killed one of the rabbits. Yeah.
Blast it.
Okay, sure. So you're
Tim's
you're
like,
shooting this
"Aw,
thing.
man.
Do it.
Either you're shooting or you're not shooting.
Yeah,
What do you,
I'm not.
No, you should shoot it.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna shoot it.
You should totally shoot it.
But it went up, killed a rabbit, and left.
You heard a sound that sounded like, I mean, this is like, we're talking for sound to travel that far. You assumed based on the grabbing motion and it disappearing, and none of the other woodland creatures, who look like they're mostly sleeping now at this point, although there's like the deer and like one other creature are like awake and looking at your camp, kind of like also keeping watch with you over themselves. They have some kind of hierarchy. You're not sure. This stone thing came up, grabbed a rabbit, and then moved away, and is now like a couple hundred feet away from you now at this point. It tries to find an outcropping of rock, disappears around the other side, and is gone. Probably we'll just call it 250 feet away from you. It doesn't matter for your range. I'm just saying for where you are. I'm just letting you know.
I am keeping an eye on that for the rest of the night.
Okay.
And then I will bring it up in the morning.
Okay.
If the morning comes. And we don't know.
Yeah.
And we're not all dead.
And the morning comes. So yeah. Yeah. That's, you don't see anything else that occurs for this particular in that outcropping of rocks, probably about within 5 or 10 minutes after that event occurs, there's a very small wisp of smoke that comes up from behind the rocks. Like a small, very, very small, concealed fire was created. There's like a little bit of light that's created in that space. Jason.
I'm sorry. I'm so
This
tired.
is all RP. All of this is RP. This is what you care about. This is what
I
you live
know.
for.
I'm so tired.
Don't complain when we've got 4 sessions of battle
Yeah.
coming up, okay? Don't complain about it. Okay.
There'll be a sleep for that too.
He will be. It's fine.
For different reasons.
That's what you see.
Yeah.
Do you do anything about a little bit of light and a little bit of smoke?
I will next week.